Hello.
Oh, I'm invading.
Oh wait, what? GragAlbert's here too. Yo, what's up, man? Wait, who else is coming in here? Oh wait, where's Vondo?
Yeah, let's get Vondel in here.
Oh, hey. Shags, Weedwick in the house.
Yo, what up?
Where's Vondel?
Where's Vondel? Vondel, join. Oh, he's gotta go. He's gotta go.
Right. So what were you guys talking about, like in general?
There were a couple things we were talking about. In general. Join my Discord. Hold up. So he's gonna be here for a bit.
All right, sounds good.
All right, well, we'll get him in here and then we'll go off. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
There,
my boy Vondel.
I can't stay for very long, guys, but I'll stay for a little bit.
Dude,
okay.
The Shags reveal is insane.
His mind was blown.
You fucking bastard! Seriously.
Okay, so
God.
I don't know if you've ever played with this guy ScottTheTeemo, but there's this guy in Weedwick called Solo Q.
Weedwick, yeah, I know.
A guy in Weedwick called Solo Q.
Everyone should know about him in fucking Mid Diamond. He's got like thousands of games played.
And so he was
Dude, I played against that guy so many times. Like I take his Warwick and he like flames me.
What was it?
Really?
Okay,
I
Weedwick, I have a
remember
question.
that.
Did you actually rage quit that game I stole Rift Herald from you? Or did you like
Dude, yes,
disconnect?
we were still behind,
Okay.
and we need that Rift Herald to come back. and
Okay,
you stole
I
that
knew
shit.
you did.
Right, you just randomly walked down from your top lane, like you didn't even have a ward on there. You just walked down.
I didn't.
Like,
I just found you. I pushed out. I just found you, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
that was
And
so
I took
tilting,
it.
dude.
So
I didn't want to play
about
anymore.
Warwick, Zach,
okay.
and like Scar and One Trick with 800 games or 900 games, right?
Yeah, that's me, Dead Mouse.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, so he had a alternate persona where he would go into like Vondel's and my chat and like bring up this cult of personality of Weedwick and how just memeing the hell out of Weedwick, making him such a like big persona, and then
No. He didn't even do that. He's just been watching my stream for fucking months as Shags. Like that only started like recently.
Yeah,
And I didn't even know it was him that started.
you hated me as Weedwick, but like you love Shags in Twitch, and I was like,
Yeah.
he hates Weedwick, but he loves me in Twitch. It was so funny.
Look, if I hate you on one half and I love you on the other half, then I'll just fucking, what different?
Oh wait,
I can choose to hate you, but it's easier just to choose to like you instead.
I see what's going on.
Yeah.
He got me in the long con. Yeah, real long.
Yeah, I played against Weedwick
I'm just
like
impressed.
3 or 4 times, I think, this season. I remember because I kept checking his account now because I play Warwick a lot, right? I play Teemo and Warwick mostly, and my Warwick win rate is actually better than my Teemo. So I was like, oh, Warwick's really OP. Okay.
Wait,
This guy was like,
oh, top or you jungle or Warwick?
I Warwick jungle, but right now I'm moving into top right now.
Warwick is such a. I hate playing as a top laner. I hate Warwick because
Warwick's really
he can just run across the entire map. Like I always have to be careful.
Yeah, and the other thing is that his sustain and his roam ability is really good. It's like having a Talon, but even worse because he actually sees everybody.
A thing that's annoying is that Trin is somebody who's very commonly low health across the map and can sustain himself in the game and be relevant with really low health totals. So yeah. I think that Warwick is a really, really good pick into Tryndamere because it just kind of counters that idea of Tryndamere.
Trin is always low health. Trin's always being really aggressive with his trades. So Warwick is always there to punish that. Okay, look, whenever I have Yasuo players on my team, I always call them Yasu bro on accident. And now I just did the same thing with Weedwick.
Dude, you also remember I was playing against you one game and you were like invading our jungle camps and you were like low. So I knew where you were, like showed on my map how you didn't know how Warwick works. And you're like, how do you know I was there? And you're like, I killed you randomly. You're like, I don't know how Warwick works. It was so funny. Like you're just low in my jungle. And you were so mad that you're like, is he ghosting me? But I'm like, no, it's how Warwick works.
Yeah, the blood trail makes it.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I'm not a jungler, so my pathing is shit. Like I don't really anticipate where the other jungler is. But when I'm playing Warwick, I know their location because of my blood sense. So I don't have to be good at jungle to play Warwick well, and that's why I kind of been doing really well on that champ. And I think it's I've been saying it was busted. I went to KR, and when I was in Korea for 3 months this season, I got to D2 within like 2 months, and I was like, what the fuck? I thought D2 and KR is hard. Like, isn't it like much harder here? Because I was D3 and NA, I was like D2 and KR. I was like, what the fuck?
Were you playing Teemo or were you playing Warwick?
Warwick only. And back then, you remember the double Q on Warwick? Like there was.
Dude, that was so nice. I hate how they fixed that.
Yeah, so it was busted. It was already a busted champ with like a broken code or coding on it. So basically, Riot didn't catch it, and then so I just kept using it. Nobody in Korea thinks Warwick is OP. Still, to this day, they don't think it's OP. When there's a top lane.
Don't tell me you build Thunderhawk. Please don't tell me you build Thunderhawk.
No, I like switched on and off. I built Cinderhawk for like a long time. On my god, I put Cinderhawk because like that's what if you're low elo, you should be using Cinderhawk. But if you don't want to, you can just.
Oh my god! Low elo you should be using Warrior because you can snowball so much faster.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll try that out actually. Yeah. I mean, there's always things like I can learn from other people, right? Especially because you play Warwick a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, this elo like D3 D2 has been so cancerous, and I was just like, I'm done.
Is it not just me that's been noticing how bad it's been? I don't know.
No, I think it's.
Has it gotten worse?
One person can't really carry it, and I think I call it recycling. There's so many people that are getting recycled, as in I get the same people every fucking queue, every fucking game, and basically everybody knows each other. Everybody knows each other's play style, which is fine up to that point. But if you're a streamer, it's just so much harder because they actually know your stream, right? So they actually can see everything. And like, I'm just gonna tell you, Vondo, right now. Since you play Tryndamere in top lane, right, mostly. There's a community of like high-low Teemo mains, right? Like we're all like in a group chat together, and most of them sniper stream.
What? I don't play against Teemo that often though. Teemo's
most of them try to sniper stream at least. Or,
I was telling Vondo, like in my lobbies, he tells me like when I'm in his games, Trin gets banned, but he tells me I tell him to ban Trin, but like you don't know that like there's so many people in that elo that just snipe you and just want to target ban you. Like it's not just me telling them to target ban you. Like,
at this point, I'm just dodging the games where they ban Trin. They will never get their LP. Like
but the bad thing about that is that because you dodge Tryndamere games, like non-Tryndamere games. They just know that, so they just want you to lose points. They're just gonna keep like. There's a guy who admitted it to me. A guy I used to know. Oh yeah. By the way, you played with Interesting yesterday, right? Echo main.
Oh, I just played with him recently. Yeah.
Dude, that guy
he's flaming our jungler. He went like 0-10. He was flaming our jungler the entire game.
Okay, so Interesting is a kind of player where he is. I think he's really young. He's a kid, right? So he basically. If things go his way, he hard carries. If he doesn't, he just keeps inting, and he just ints. Like he doesn't, and he just blames it on other people, right? And like it's not it's definitely a kid thing, but like when like I saw the fight between you two, I was like maybe I should butt in. Nah, this is fine because I know both of you guys, and I'm like I know how both of you are like how you guys. So I was like, man, and this guy literally has like 7 or 8 accounts in like D5 to D1 elo. So he literally said to me, he's like, well, I could actually like snipe this guy every time and just ban Trin so that he just loses LP over and over and over again. I'm like, why would you want to waste your time like that? He's like, well, it's fun for me. I'm like, all right, it's up to you, I guess. So it's like, I don't know if you should keep dodging non-Tryndamere games. I feel like you should learn like one other champion that you can like 2-trick.
Yeah,
all I know is that Vondel hard carried me with LeBlanc that one game. Remember that?
Oh my god, dude! I had no idea what I was doing.
You locked LB top because someone banned Trin, and I was like, "Yeah, we got this, bro!" And we ended up winning.
I picked LB because his main champ was LB, so I tried to trade him his actual champ, but he didn't trade me.
Dude, if
and
I saw
was like, then I got stuck with LB.
I should have just built LeBlanc. I would just instant dodge that shit. I wouldn't even wait for him. I would just leave that shit.
Nah. I believed in my boy. I was like, we got this. It was easy.
I should have just built AD so I could at least AA, like, because I could not use those abilities. Like first timing LeBlanc, no, I couldn't do that. I should have went tank or something.
That was a fun game.
Hey, so I was talking to Grag earlier in League about how like all of us last season we were all like around like D5, D4, but now like we're all around like D2, D1. I was like, do y'all think Leagues got easier to climb? Because like how all this magically like climbed out of D5 into like
No, it's not really magically. I think it's just like game knowledge and game experience, right? You guys like it's one more year actually adds. Because here's the thing for me though, like I was Masters in season 6, and season 7 I was D1. So like obviously I'm not trying. I have like 60 whatever % win rate on my D3, and I'm just not playing on it. But like I don't think it got easier. It just made it harder for one person to carry an entire game, I think. Oh, we have a challenger here, so I'm gonna shut the fuck up now.
No offense, guys. Sorry, I'm leaving. I don't like it here. I don't condone like, giving people like him a platform. So see ya.
Fair enough.
Whoa.
Okay, he was gonna leave soon anyway. He's gonna leave soon.
Yeah, he said he was gonna.
Yeah.
He doesn't. You don't smell or anything. It's just he was gonna leave anyways. Damn. What do you think, Damir?
What I told
League is easier or harder currently?
I think it's easier.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. I think it's got a little easier to climb, honestly.
All the good players left, so maybe you think it's harder to climb because all the players are trash.
Right, like the team luck I think is terrible, right? I don't know about all the good. I mean, yeah, a lot of good players did leave. How like you've done so many like unranked to challenger streams, right? And unranked to master streams and stuff like that. How much easier is it like to climb up to like? Because I feel like D5 to D3 was really really hard this season for me. Like after I got to after getting out of plat, I was like, okay, this is the same as last year. And then if I had a previous like MMR like that was higher than plat 1, that's pretty easy. But like it feels like mid diamond climb is really really hard right now. Maybe I'm talking to the wrong guy. This guy's challenger, so
yeah.
I don't have any issues climbing through diamond. It's just when I get to master plus is the issues.
Well, yeah, but you're a Kha'Zix abuser, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, my champion's so weak. He's getting massive buffs.
Yeah, no, I just think in general he is a very good solo queue champion in the sense that
once you get big, you can really hard.
He has a lot of skill expressions, so he's somebody that can be really weak, but in the hands of like really really good players is really really powerful because there's so many different things that I see high level Kha'Zix players like you do that I don't see the average even master tier Kha'Zix really doing that players like you can do. Like how to abuse ults. Ult abuse is really the biggest thing that I see as the difference between somebody like you and somebody like fuck, I can't think of any players. I don't want to call anybody out.
Yeah, you don't want to do that on stream.
Yeah.
Imagine if that guy's like watching right now and is like, what is this guy talking trash about? Don't make enemies on stream, right?
yeah, it's just not a good idea.
Yeah.
Especially when they like stream too.
If they're better than you, they can really fuck up your like ranking experience. Like if you make enemies, like it's just not a good idea. There's a guy who put me on his int list, and this guy just like ints in every game I play. If I play on my main account on stream, like this guy literally will snipe me on his Smurf, and then he was just inted like, and I wouldn't know which Smurf because he has so many Smurfs.
Yeah, no, there's quite a few people who, I don't know. I just feel like since I play something that's off meta, people really hate off meta, and they just get especially triggered when I do. When I don't do well. But also, to be fair, I feed all the time. I feed like almost every game, but I still do well.
Dude, when you pick Kassadin mid, you're just inting, dude. You have like a 40% win rate on Kassadin.
It used to be high. It used to be like a good win rate, but I tried like a bunch of different builds. I tried Grasp, Comet, Electrocute, all of these different things, but I also feel like I just need to get into momentum of playing it, because when I did play it like more consistently, I had like a 70-something% win rate in my first like 20 games on it, but then it just drops. But yeah, I need to get more into practice with that. My Nami is clean though, so not a 2-trick or not a 1-trick.
Wait, your Nami is clean? Nami?
Yeah, I think my Nami is clean. It's okay. It's good for an autofill. I think it's good for an autofill.
Well, Nami's a really good champ. I think it's just like
Yeah,
Nami's really strong in the support role right now.
Literally, all you have to do on Nami is just press W and E, and then you win. You don't have to. You don't even have to skill bubble, and you'll do well.
So okay, a question for Greg actually. Like, Greg, you play like AP Gragas, right?
I play a lot of different. I've played Grag in all the roles and all kinds of builds, but lately
You do
what
the
I've
tank
been
as well, and like
yeah,
all
what
this
I've been spamming lately, it's been my favorite, and I think also the strongest is in solo queue at least for me is Grag support with aftershock, and I kind of do a
Yeah, because that's the Korean challenger meta right now. I think a lot
kind of like a Rakan-esque build where you go you start off with Spell Thief, but then you go into tank your items. I prioritize Knight's Vow. I think Knight's Vow's the best support item right now. Just getting damage reduction on a carry.
Oh,
is
I
crazy.
100% agree. Knight's Vow is so strong, and whenever I take any kind of support champion that can build it, it's I love having a Knight's Vow on my team. It makes the game feel so much safer.
Yeah, especially with so many champions and with Dark Harvest just being around, being as strong as it is, so many champions can just one-shot people. Getting that damage reduction just gives you a little bit more time to react and do something about it.
Oh yeah,
I think aftershock's still kind of broken, honestly. Like that's like a 2-second immunity. You take no damage at all. It's like
that's a good point to bring up. Is Damir, this is a question for you. Do you think that Dark Harvest is only good because of electrocute nerfs, or is it actually good because of some kind of meta shift or shift in priorities?
It's always been good because you can proc it multiple times. Even with the old electrocute, you still out damaged it if you procced it twice.
Yeah, because I noticed that after a certain point in the game, like 20 minutes, the damage for Dark Harvest would significantly exponentially increase over electrocute.
Yeah.
And being able to reset is so strong because you can use it so many times in fights.
Yeah, since you team fight and get cannons a lot more later into the game, it stacks up super fast.
Yeah, that's a really good point with cannons. I've been trying. What's up?
No, I was just gonna say also the fact that electrocute's weaker. Like before, you would take electrocute because it was a lot stronger earlier on, and you could potentially get snowballed and carry from that. But now that it's weaker early, I feel like there's no downside to just taking Dark Harvest over electrocute always.
Yeah, because when it scales, when the raw damage scales so much harder than electrocute, right after you get out of laning phase, right into the mid game, then there's no point in taking it if electrocute isn't even that good early. I don't know if I'm cutting out or not. Am I?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Even then, the Dark Harvest out damages electrocute early game right now.
Yeah. I took Dark Harvest mid lane Tryndamere on my Smurf, and I was really surprised about how much damage it did, even with like almost no stacks. It's because I used to run electrocute mid trends and had some success with that, but electrocute is actual dog shit now. But Dark Harvest can work, and I think it doesn't. It stacks pretty quickly in lane. Like you see MF players taking it, and I don't think it's just a jungle tool because of how it still is definitely possible to stack it properly in lane.
Wait, does it only drop off cannon minions?
Yeah, it drops off of cannon minions, and the cannon minion drop off is like 6 stacks, 8 stacks, something like that.
4.
4? Oh, not bad.
But it's both your cannon and their cannon, so you get 8 from the cannon wave.
Okay.
And then if you're a thing about Tryndamere too is that Tryndamere can counter jungle a lot, so you can get a lot more stacks that way.
Right.
And another thing about snowballing in teamfights is that it's also really good for coming back into teamfights, since it also resets off of your teammates dying. So I think it's a good like comeback tool in team fights. If that makes any sense.
So to continue the trend on meta questions, what do you guys think of the new? I mean, it's not a new strategy, but it's been really prevalent, at least in my solo queue games. The glacial augment mid laner epidemic.
So
Do you think that's also a result of electrocute, or do you think it's a number of things?
No, it's a number of things. It's definitely the buff or the change, I guess, on the glacial augment. Two of my mods are like LCK players, right? So two of my friends, like real life friends, are professional players in Korea right now. So like I was talking to them and I was like, hey, what's with the glacial augment? Why do I see that in Challenger Ladder? Why do I not see that in like currently in like D5 games or D4 games? And they're like, oh, basically it's like challengers can adapt to, or even like masters can adapt to like item changes or like things like change faster, right? So basically the fact that it shoots a ray of slow during like a team fight, it almost is like a quirky Valkyrie or Rumble's ult, right? It's just not having those champions. You can like do that on Ahri, or you can do that on Sion with a Righteous Glory. Like it's just you can build the way that you used to build, or even better. Like I think Faker like tried it out with Vel'Koz in a like LCK versus LPL, like China versus Korea.
Asia Games.
Yeah, Asian Games. Yeah, Asian Games. Yeah, Faker tried that. Didn't work out, but like I understood why it works after I watched that game. I was like, okay, that actually is pretty cool. And Ahri with the what is that thing that shoots like a Hextech? It's not a proto belt.
Hextech GLP. GLP.
Yeah, GLP. Yeah, it just like shoots like a bunch of arrows, and that actually works really well with it.
Yeah,
too,
it's
right?
the meta. It's GLP Twin Shadows, and I've been seeing a lot on Ahri, Vigar, or Vagar, however you say it, and Vel'Koz. That's what I've been seeing a lot. Those three champs and those two items core.
Yeah, because another thing I think about it is that it's so low risk picks in that if it does end up getting some kind of good ray, it's like almost a guaranteed kill if you're in a good situation. And if you don't hit it, then it's whatever. You just wait a little bit, and you're not actually burning any of your combat cooldowns. So you can't punish somebody for not getting a good twin shadow.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It hasn't hit NA yet, but Sion right now, like we all know, kind of Sion's like a busted stupid champ, right? Like it's like
Sion's strong.
Yeah, Sion's really strong, and it's like easy to play for everybody, and it's not really. I mean, there's skill based in it, right? But like slow champ skills are. You got a lot of CCs. You're a tank. You're a bruiser. And you fight after you die, which is a big passive. Now, Sion currently in Korea right now, they're all using it on augments. Glacial augment right now because it slows with the Righteous Glory, and basically after you die, you can use your Righteous Glory or like any other items, right? So it's really stupid the way they're using it, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is gonna be the meta. And I don't know if you guys seen it in NA yet. I've never seen it so far.
Yeah, I've seen Sion's taking glacial augment too, and like they just slow them while they're dead. And it's just like broken. Like they just die and slow everyone down.
Yeah, that thing is like, and because like Sion does so much damage as a dead, like.
Yeah, because his auto attacks are 10% pure damage.
Yeah, it's like
10% max health.
Pretty fun to watch actually, but at the same time, I'm like, is this what meta is right now?
Yeah, it feels bad.
It's funny because none of us are meta players, right? I play the best champion in the league, like basically Teemo. Of course. And we got Trinamir, we got Warwick, we got Kha'Zix, and we got Gragas. So I guess Gragas is still kind of meta in almost every lane currently, at least.
He's really good in or he's been played in jungle mostly, in pro play at least.
I've seen him in top lane in pro play.
Yeah, I've seen him support too. So he's been
he's somebody that
his ult. Like you can disengage everybody with the ult, and you can also engage a fight with the ult. So
he just has so much utility that I don't think he's ever going to be like dog shit unless his numbers are terrible, and he's just unplayable.
For the past like 2 seasons, he's been 45% win rate in solo queue.
Yeah,
I mean, but then again, win rate doesn't really matter. Like here's the thing, like even let's say Teemo, for example, Teemo had such a high win rate in NA for a long time. But if you look at the solo queue ladder for Teemo, because usually they count everything as Plat Plus. Like Plat Plus is what they count the win rates from. So Plat Plus, I alone have about 20 accounts right now, like level 30 plus, right? And I have 8 accounts in Plat. I have 2 accounts in Diamond, right? And they all have over like let's say rough estimate 55 to about 65 win rate, 65% win rate. So I alone take about 10 accounts, like hundreds of maybe 1,000 games, that staggers the win rate up. Blotter has what, like 20 accounts too, like, or 15 accounts in Plat and Dia. Same as my mod, Jimmy, like iPad used to have how many, like, it's just, if so many people one trick and have multiple accounts, it just fluctuates the win rates. So I can't really say, like, let's say like I guess at 40, below 40% win rate or 45% win rate. It's not a really accurate stat, I don't think, because
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah.
Also, solo queue is very different from professional play.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of
like
course.
Sejuani has a terrible win rate, and she's still getting nerfed in solo queue because she's just so strong in organized play. And Gragas is like how much safety, disengage, and engage he has, he will never he won't be strong. He won't be weak in solo queue that often, or in pro play. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's always been better in pro play, in my opinion, just because he has so many tools to set up his team that when you have in solo queue, it's a lot harder to solo carry with Grag. You can build full AP, but even then, it's a lot harder to just solo carry consistently on Grag.
Yeah, there are certain things that work really well in solo queue that just aren't things for comp play, and vice versa. Like Kha'Zix is a great example of a champion who has a lot of solo queue value that doesn't necessarily translate over into pro play. And Tryndamere is also another perfect example of somebody who really punishes unorganized play. But if you have any kind of organized play, Tryndamere is just a dogshit champion. Aside
Just like
from
Weedwick.
yeah.
I love how you say that about your own champion. I say that about Teemo too.
No,
Teemo's
I think that there are two situations in which Tryndamere can be legitimately played in a competitive setting. One is
splitting, and like there's something amazing about Tryndamere, even Teemo too, because like shrooming, mapping, things like that. Like you get so much vision for your team just on your shrooms, right?
Oh yeah, I think that the there was I forgot which team did it, but the strategy where they used Teemo 80 carry, and they played everywhere else on the map, and they used shrooms to clear the waves so that it was impossible to dive bot. And how they were trying to focus Teemo so hard that they were just able to win the rest of the map. I think that was a really, really smart use of Teemo, in the sense that you can't dive Teemo when he's just able to permanently shroom the wave.
Really good, and like you don't really need any like. Yeah, I mean, I've been wrestling with the idea of, because there were some professional games with Teemo this season. I was like in the LCK too, so. Maybe Teemo's not the worst, and some people, like, there's a few people who can actually climb to like high LP masters or like challenger with it. There's only, I think, 5 people in the A right now who can actually do that, and 2 of them like kind of retired. Like iPad's playing StarCraft right now, like so it's like I feel like I mean Teemo has a potential to be good, but it's like I'm somebody who came from playing. Like mechanical, like I was a Riven main for 2 years. I was a Yasuo main. That's how I got to Masters. That's how I got to D1, playing Yasuo, Riven, and like Fiora, and then going into a Teemo and I enjoy the game, but like it's really terrible to champion.
Yeah, no, I think that Tryndamere definitely has, or Teemo has a lot of things that can make him really, really, really strong compared to other champions. Like he has one of the strongest objective controls in the game, in my opinion, with shroom control.
After Heim's robot,
Yeah, and it's just the issue with a lot of these niche picks in solo queue is that a lot of people aren't willing to dedicate the time for something that they wouldn't pick that often. And even though it could be something that would be viable and competitive, a lot of people don't see it as worth. Like I think that Tryndamere was just played in EU Masters as an Aurelia mid counter pick. Mid Tryndamere was played, and that is a no champion counters Aurelia harder than Tryndamere, and it's there's nothing that Aurelia should be able to do against Tryndamere.
What about Malphite? Because I've been just spamming Malphite every time I see Aurelia. I've had like 100% against her.
Tryndamere shits on her harder.
Okay.
Because it doesn't really matter what she does.
Right? Like that's another.
What's up?
You can dive her once you get fed too, right? Like.
Yeah, definitely. It's really easy to just snowball off an Aurelia, and Aurelia mid is something that is occasionally first picked, and it's not used as a counter pick. So that is a situation in which Tryndamere mid would be viable in solo queue, but a lot of people wouldn't really be willing to learn it. I think that another situation in which he would be viable in a competitive aspect is a Malzahar counter pick, because Tryndamere shits on every aspect of Malzahar so hard, and Malzahar is generally a safe, reliable first pick that it would be really, really, really hard counter pick that would just instantly win the game, because
Does your E take care of the little saplings as well?
yes, it one shots them. Your W procs his shields. At levels,
shit. And your Q obviously will take out his E as well. So, and his ult is cancelled by your ult. Like that's
his ult does nothing against you, and no matter you can always just straight up dive him under turret, even regardless of him having flash or anything, and there's nothing that he can do about it. His ults, he'll try to ult you, and you'll just use your ult right. Because another thing about Malzahar is that his damage is also very predictable, so that you can always ult at like the perfect time, and that there is nothing that Malzahar can do against it, and that would be a situation in which the champion would be viable competitively.
Like if you're ahead of it, it should be.
I mean, but I think that comes with like level of not just gameplay, but like experience with that champ. Because I played Tryndamere recently. I went to 112 on him. I somehow won.
Sounds like me. Sounds like my scores.
Somehow my bot lane carried me. They had like 20 whatever kills. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, no,
I went 112 and I just split all game. I was like,
Hey,
okay,
David.
this is how you play the champ.
What's up?
Did you know my name's David too?
Hello, David.
Do you know who this is?
Snake. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Did you see the clip, buddy?
I've not seen the clip yet, but I can see it.
Sorry for interrupting you, bro. I just
Okay.
wanted to say hi.
Hello. Hope you have a good time. Love you too, bro. All right, let me just move.
Greg, I wanted to ask Greg, what's the cooldown on Gragas's E, the body slam?
Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah.
It goes down. Well, if you land a body slam, I'm not sure if you know. If you land a body slam, it reduces the cooldown by 3 seconds.
Oh shit, that's why. Okay.
If you hit nothing, then it's a longer cooldown.
Huh.
That's something that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, because I just got fucked.
Even if you hit minions.
I thought it was such an OP check. It's just like during one team fight, he body slammed like 4 people. I'm like, what the? It was a long team fight, but still.
Well, yeah. Also, it was a recent change. His cooldown used to be 12 seconds at all ranks, and now it has to be level 5 to be 12 seconds. So it's 16, 15, 14, 13 down. But it used to like they changed it so that the W is the same cooldown at all ranks, and the E cooldown goes down, and it used to be the opposite. So I always used to max body slam regardless, just because over W because of the base damage, and when I would play AP, having another ability that has as much damage as the Q is pretty insane, so that you could just one shot people. But now that with the cooldown change, it's like you should never really max W. You should always max W last.
And what heals you? Your W heals you, right?
No, it's every 8 seconds. It's on an 8-second cooldown. Any ability you cast heals you.
That champ is so stupid. What the hell? Like what? Okay, and then your barrel. The longer it lasts, it does more damage than the Q. Okay.
Yeah, it goes up to 150%.
There's some really
the slow as well.
Does
not
your
just the
W
damage.
also reduce damage like
Mhm.
Aurelia's W?
Yeah, for a short time. Yeah.
Damn, so then you got a lot of good passes on that champ. I wanted to understand the champ because I kept losing in lane to Gragas. I lost to Pranuno a few times when he used to rank, and I was like, fuck, I thought Teemo counters Gragas, and why am I losing? Yeah, now I kind of know because I know nothing about the champ. Well,
Well, if you wanna, yeah. I mean, what did he go tank or did he go AP?
he went full AP.
Yeah, full AP. If it's full AP Gragas versus a full AP Teemo, you'll shit on him. But if you go, I don't know if people even do this on Teemo anymore, but I remember like last season
Because I was tank mode, I would get
shit on by on hit tanky Teemo with like Wits End and stuff.
Yeah,
just
it's so fun.
demolish AP Gragas. You just
But
have
they
no chance.
ever since they nerfed like Frozen Mallet to 20% instead of 30% slow, it's a huge nerf, right? Nobody uses it anymore. Even Gnar players like hesitate to build Frozen Mallet first.
I've been seeing a lot of Urgots build it.
Yeah, because Urgot's like W procs it like nonstop, right? Like just hit. And I've been banning Urgot every. What do you guys think of Urgot, by the way? I've been banning.
I think Urgot is like ridiculously strong. I play a champion that pretty hard counters him in Tryndamere, because my ult counters his ult. But still, I think the champion is just so ridiculously strong for no reason.
I've been banning him every game in solo queue, and like in Korea, this was already a thing way before when the season started. But NA, I think it was Hashinshin who fucking brought it on. When Hashinshin got to Masters like 100 LP with Urgot, everybody's like, if Hashinshin can get to Masters with this champ, it must be good. You know what I mean? And everybody started playing it. And it's just
was he buffed randomly, or just like everyone just cut on?
No, it was always good, but it was a boring champ because it was a tank bruiser champ, and people thought it was. It has there was a misconception, obviously, but like everybody thought it was a terrible champion, so he was never played. And then in Korea, like he was always played by all the top streamers because they were like, "This is the best champ. Like you're tanky, you do a shit ton of damage even if you build full tank. Your team fight is awesome because you have shield plus movement speed like CC, and then your ult cleans up. Like I think I saw.
And you take Righteous Glory, and your pick is so good.
Yeah, your pick is so good too. Like that's.
Yeah, I was watching some LCK games, and they abuse his ultimate so well. Like they know how to like
yeah, but I try playing the champ though. Like it's so based on skill shot. It is really hard like to actually hit that ult during a team fight in the right guy too.
Oh yeah, I mean the skill shot is really quick though.
Oh yeah. But people see like good players will see you charging up and they'll like sidestep or dodge it or flash it out. But yeah, in low elo, I feel like it's such a fun champ to play. You just every time you drag and kill something.
I also think it's a bit of a confounding variable, just like the meta. What I'm going to say is Unsealed Spellbook in general, I think, has kind of emerged both because people are learning how to use it and also just the nerfs and changes to other trees and, like in domination and stuff like that. I just think that in combination with people learning Urgot is what has resulted in his just dominance. Unsealed Spellbook is really...
Wait, is he getting nerfed this patch or...
No, I don't think so. We could actually. I was gonna say before, if we were looking for like a guide, we could do like a group patch review or something like that. But
well, we can do that. Hell yeah, I'll be down for that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that these like group collaboration kind of things are like really interesting content.
Yeah, I didn't even.
And like it's just interesting like talk in general.
Yeah, I feel like especially because we don't get a lot of talk. Because solo queue is such a like legit solo queue. Everybody's on their own, doing their things. But I don't really get to collab with other players like this. This is really fun.
Yeah, and just like actually have more in-depth talks that you can't really get in solo queue, and just kind of having a bunch of different opinions coming in.
Right. Yeah, because every time I'm curious about something, I ask my friends, and they're all like, because I'm Korean, right? So all the friends I have are like. And I'm from Korea too, so all the friends I used to hang out with are either pro players or semi-pro or like they're masters or challengers, KR letters. So if I ask them, they can't connect with me because they don't understand NA solo queue, and they don't understand something like they don't understand like what we go through, like in fucking diamond and like like a high diamond and like masters.
Yeah, and
oh, by the way, congrats on masters today. That's or was that today?
No, that's not today. That's not today. Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about my solo queue rank right now. let's just stay far away from that. Just give me a week, and then we can talk about it then. We can.
All right, we'll get there.
Yeah. I don't think you got masters and you lost it in like 8 hours. That was hilarious.
Not 8 hours, but like 18. I didn't win a single game.
You get like 10 makeable days though.
Yeah, but I wasn't.
For 10 days to play on a Smurf or something, dude. Like,
I was.
10 days to, like, you can promote your stream that way. Just feel like masters, Tryndamere player.
But hey, now I'm former masters, but like former in like really small text.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man. Dude, like, I don't know if you know, like,
servers are up, by the way.
Blotter was stuck in D1 last season because he was going through like personal shit.
Who?
And obviously, mentality is so important, right? And
I'm
like,
sorry, who?
Like Blotter, ex-Blotter.
Okay.
And so I used to be friends with him before, like I started streaming too. So it's like long before he was like partner or anything. So he was really tilting in solo queue ladder, and he called. He had an account in LAN that was Challenger LAN, and he called himself on stream. His title on his stream was Challenger Teemo One Trick, and I was like, dude, that's kind of call yourself a Challenger Teemo One Trick when you're with this LAN and you're like, do you want on every account? That's like, dude.
Yeah, Challenger LAN is like there are D3 players in NA. There are D4 players in NA who are Challenger in LAN.
Yeah. There's another guy I know. I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna say because Vlad is a friend. He understands, and he actually hit Challenger this season. That's fine. But like, there's a guy I know. He calls himself a Challenger player. Now calls himself a Challenger jungle main, right? And he's Flex Challenger, and he played the Flex with two of his other subs who were both one is a Master player and one's a Challenger player. So he got boosted in Flex, and he calls himself a Challenger player. And on his stream title, and I'm like, dude, people are gonna catch you on that shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I would do it if that was a thing if that was a thing that was like legitimate and people actually cared about Flex ranking. But Flex is just ranked normals. Flex is just like when you just want to really fuck around with your friends.
Yeah, well, guys, everyone in this call and everyone in chat is Challenger. We're just held back by our teams, obviously. So.
Yeah, all these other terrible people.
Well, what we can do next time is that we can actually try to go 5-man queue with like if we get 5 streamers here, like just because we all like one trick something too, right? Like so it'd be really fun to like 5-man queue Flex or something. With like, oh man, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree with that.
I can't be part of it. I'm not a streamer. It feels bad.
We'll get you in. We need to work jungle. Why not? Like that'd be good. Because none of us jungle here. I think Greg maybe. Because
I could jungle, but I really just prefer support.
Yeah, that's.
We can't have both Vondel and Yasupodcast. That would end up bad. Vondel playing LeBlanc.
Oh no, I'll just play my Nami.
What's up, man?
I've come back.
Didn't you go to sleep?
No, I woke up at 11 p.m.
Dude, that's a life.
Oh, it is.
Dude, I was gonna go get some food, but then I was like, this is interesting. I'll get food from somewhere else. You guys were talking about being Challenger and like only your teams are holding you back. And I was like, oh, dude, that is so me. I am definitely a Challenger. Like, I identify as a Challenger, okay? And if you can't accept that and call me by my actual title / solo queue pronoun, then you're just a bigot and you're ignorant.
Oh man, there's a streamer I used to mod for, named GTT, the Ribbon One Trick. He's a number 1 Ribbon in KR, right? Our number 1 Ribbon in NA is like Viper, right? So he and Viper are friends, and he was former Challenger. He's currently stuck in Masters, and he always titles his stream something like this, like former skill of a Challenger. Why does my rank say Masters? Fix it, LeBron, please. And shit like that, right? And I'm really tempted to go something like, it says Diamond 3, but Challenger skill level, or like I don't know, something clever. I don't know, because people do come and check you out if you have a really clever title.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like it's in the first impression, and you want to have a really, really good first impression. So a good title is the most important thing.
Can I hire someone to write titles for my stream?
Yeah, no, I should just commission that out to somebody. Sounds like a good idea. No, yeah. If somebody would be able to do that and would actually be good at it and have actual skills with it, pretty cool.
I'm in a weird space where I have an option to be, I guess, what's the word? The B word, the B word, the boosted. I have an option to be actually boosted, and because my cousin is a Challenger player, and he's a professional booster. Maybe I shouldn't say that on stream, but it's alright. Okay, so I'm
a lot of people in I know a lot of streamers who are, and a lot of high level players are.
There's a few really famous streamers who are professional boosters, and my cousin basically he's been boosting since like season 2. Like he's been boosting for a long time, right? And he boosts for a lot of famous streamers, even currently, who are like D5 level or D4 skill level, but they have masters accounts because of my cousin. And obviously he gets paid big bucks for these, right? And I had the option, I still have the option to like ask him for help, but I'm like, I feel like, I don't know, it becomes a religion at a certain point, like getting high rank. So I feel like I just want to see where my skill level is at the game I play. I want to enjoy the game for what it is, than to worry about ranks. The only time it pisses me off if somebody calls me like, oh, you're hard stuck, whatever, you have like 1,000 games here, you have this, like you're like, that pisses me off a little bit. Like if
because it's just like it's like
you
that's
have, like
that
1,200 games masters and do like hard select masters, 100 games.
yeah,
Like, it doesn't matter what
it's
you
like
are.
it's like that's the current base insult for people who have nothing to actually insult you with. And it's just like the low IQ insult.
They put rank over everything. You know what I mean? Like they just like rank is the hierarchy, and how much games you have and how much win rate you have is like what counts or what matters, right?
Yeah, it's like I'll be masters, or I'll be like really high ranked, and then I'll drop to D5, and I'll get out like almost instantly. But when I'm there, people will call me hard stuck D5 when I was there for maybe like 4 games.
I think because when you do that, your win rate goes down, right, to like 50-ish or 51-ish, and then you have those banked games because you played so much to get to masters, right? And tilting back down also means whatever games you played. So I feel like they call you that to insult you, and if you do bad in their game, they'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's not a actually applicable insults, because it's not like hard stuck, because I can't. When you see a player who has like this barrier that they can't reach, like you could have called me a hard stuck diamond a while ago, but I did break that barrier. But now I'm hard stuck below Master 0 LP.
Well, they'll call you D whatever. I saw someone insulting your number of games, 2K games. You only have like maybe 1,300 on that account. It's like, how are you rounding up 700 games?
Yeah, I know. And then the guy said that I had greasy hair and then I had like spaghetti on my shirt. And like neither of those things are true. I just took a shower before I streamed.
No. Well, I'm saying like a lot of these people have multiple accounts. They'll have like 20 accounts with 100 games each. And it's like, well, you hard stuck 2K game. It's so easy to just make another account with a high win rate. Like
like that's the thing is like
I got to like Diamond 3 with 75 win rate almost. Like
because I feel like
not hard to do that.
Here's the thing: like if you can get to Diamond 3 on one account, you can probably get it on multiple accounts. It's just a matter of team luck and metal of your mentality. Your skill level is there, right? Unless you're one of those people who are stuck in D5, let's say 6 seasons in a row. And then for some reason you got to D3 this season, and then you stop playing because you're like, I'm not getting any higher than this. I'm gonna drop it if I, you know what I mean? Maybe if that's your mentality, then maybe you won't climb it on multiple accounts. But I feel like if you can do it on one account, you can keep doing it.
I'm not crazy.
Because
it's
like that's the thing
really
is
high, right? With a Smurf account.
Yeah.
Because
you get momentum from the MMR. Yeah.
You get momentum, and your mental's good because you're winning. You're smashing all these people.
And you have that beautiful OP.GG play with that colorful.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say my ultimate comeback when people are like, oh, 2K games and you're whatever rank, I just say, all right, go play 2K games on one account. You'll probably be bronze 5, dude. Because the thing is, they play, like you said, they play like 50 games and get to a rank. And at that point, I actually view people who have less games and a certain rank, I view that as less of a display of your true skill, because anything could have happened in that small sample size. When someone has thousands of games and they're a certain rank, I feel like they actually deserve that rank. That's the way I see it, but I'm also biased because I have a shit ton of games. So.
I respect people
you're
with
trying to
games
justify your own thing.
Let's say Tyler 1, for example. Probably
Tyler or Hashinshin. I can respect that they put thousands of games into one account and they don't smurf.
Yeah, they did put like that.
I respect that. Even if you don't like the player.
Like when Tyler 1 hit, like, what was it, rank top 10 in NA or top 20 in NA or whatever, right? So when he hit that, he was the only one up there with 2,000 plus games, right? Which means he worked hard for it, but it also means that he didn't really deserve that elo. Obviously, he dropped fast, right? But like, it comes to show, I think, like, like let's say TF Blade for example, like he plays how many games? What I don't know how many games he has right now. On his main account, rank 1, right? He has about 600 games on that one, right? But he stopped playing on that and he goes on a different account because he knows if he keeps playing on that one, there's a chance of him dropping that because he wants to keep that rank 1, right? A lot of people think that way, and I don't know if that's an accurate display of his skill level. Obviously, he shows it by like getting other accounts to like challenger rank whatever, right? But still.
Well, to be fair, what's the point of grinding that account further? There's literally no other rank to get.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing else you've accomplished.
He at one point had over
300
300 LP over the second highest.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. You could do that, I guess. Sure.
Yeah,
it's funny because Gom abused Garner like earlier in the season. He got the challenger, and now he's like been showing off that account like all season, like on his stream and stuff. Like, oh, I'm challenger.
And he just plays his games to like keep that account. And if you were to like continuously play on that account, you probably wouldn't have it.
Like, look, you're good at like these players are good, but they intentionally don't grind games on those accounts because they want to make it last as long as possible. I mean, when you have so many accounts, you don't have to. Especially, you can make up any excuse you want on stream. Oh, the queues are long, whatever. But in reality, you're just trying to prevent decay. You're just trying to ride the wave as long as possible. And I understand it, but they always try to act like they're not. That's all.
Yeah, because like I would be a Masters player right now if I just played on a Smurf. But like nothing has changed about my skill. It's just like whether or not I'm playing on one account or I'm playing on 2 accounts.
And also, I mean, this is how I say solo queue ladder is. I tell this to my viewers, and some of them actually agree with me, and some of them don't, whatever. But like, I don't know if you guys will agree with me. League of Legends is about 25% skill, 25% team luck, and 50% mentality. What do you guys think of that? Because if you don't have the initial 25% of skill, you're not going to climb in general, right? But if you get to a certain level of like diamond player, if you can get to like D3 or like even like D5 to D1, like that skill level, right? I think it just becomes 50% mentality and 25% team.
No, yeah,
mentality is definitely bigger. I
100% agree that mentality is at least half of it. Like, I'm gonna call him out right now, but I'm pretty sure he'll be cool with it. But I haven't like said this to him. But Risty, I think he's a terrible player in a lot of ways. That he misses so many CS and he has like really really bad map awareness. But he is able to get high ranks because he has a really really good mentality for like actually doing these kind of things. And he's also really good at just not being a detriment to his team. So just through the nature of averages and stuff like that, if you're not a detriment to your team, that you will on average win more games than you lose.
Risty is a perfect example of consistency. Risty is really good at every time I watch Risty stream, he's always either winning lane or going even. I never see him losing. He's always doing his best and he's limited by his champion. But I honestly think he's a really consistent player and he's very smart macro wise.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think his biggest strength is he's like an encyclopedia of matchup knowledge. His knowledge of matchups, like and the way he tweaks his build and runes depending on a very specific champion he's playing against is insane. Like he'll never do the same thing twice in a row depending on what champion he's playing against.
Yeah, and he's very mad scientisty about his builds.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I see
his biggest strength.
I see him just not having like not being able to show up for a play because he's just not like watching the actual play that's going on, watching the minimap, watching the team fight, and that he could have gone into that and actually been able to do something if he was a player that was better at getting more information.
Being at the right place at the right time is pretty much everything when you're trying to climb in high elo. That's what I struggle with the most, honestly.
I think what I've seen Fonzo stream, I've seen him stream a lot actually. And I've hosted him a few times as well, and he's hosted me. Right? And every time I watch the stream, I feel like one bad thing about him is that he I
tilt. I get it.
Yeah, you tilted. Like so, basically,
you came to my stream one day after beating me, and I was so fucking tilted. I kind of like snapped at you. I'm sorry.
If you win, right? Like if you like this is what tilts me too. But like if you win lane with like 3-4 solo kills, and then all the other lanes get fucked, and then you lose the game, that like if you lose a game that you're supposed to win, right? Basically, it will tilt me, right? But at least I try my best not to let that carry over to the next game, which I feel like you do a lot. Like if you, that's the case, because then you become really streaky. Because when you're in a good mood, you just keep defeating this guy. Like it doesn't matter if this guy was X Challenger or X Masters. You actually play really smart and really well. And I'm like, wow, this guy's actually good. How's he not like climbing? Like what? Like how's he not doing this? And then I notice the games that you lose, and then I'm like, oh, okay, he loses like 10 in a row. I'm like, shit, okay. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
You know,
Yeah, tilt is a big
Yeah.
issue.
yeah,
That's
I
why
feel-
mental is so important. I've been working on it lately, and I've been trying to like.
Yeah, I've noticed, dude. I'm like,
Yeah.
I lurk your stream, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy's
And
actually.
one thing I noticed that you Mongo is like you split a lot when you like times when you should be group and team fighting. Like you
I
always
would
end up
split.
splitting, and yeah, you
Sometimes-
just split for no reason.
Sometimes I group too much too because it seems like we're just doing too much, trying to do too much, and I can't even like sometimes I feel like I'm trapped. I can't split, and I want to split.
When is the right time to actually go back to the team? That's always a real question, right? Like, there's obviously a good timing to go back to your like team to group and like from your split, right? But for Trinamirs, like, I feel like you guys are faster than Teemo, right? So it's a little different. You guys can out to the jungle and stuff.
I think it's the hardest
You
part of
okay,
being a top
bro?
laner is like knowing when to split and knowing when to group.
Yeah, because you can't rely on consistent like say if you know the like the actual nature of the game is that your team should be able to hold themselves under their turret or something, but then because it's fucking NA, they do like stupid shit and they don't.
It's clearly a 4v5 and they engage first. I'm like, what? Like,
yeah, and then like that's
for me,
something that you can't control for.
Two things have helped, which is typing, like literally what I'm gonna do and what I expect them to do. I have like in the nicest way possible. I type like I've been communicating, right? I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be splitting. If you guys see 2 on me, you guys can go Baron. You know what I mean? Like shit like that, right?
Yeah, micromanaging them like StarCraft.
Yeah, micromanaging even like small things, and it actually makes a big difference in games. I've noticed.
I gotta start doing that. Yeah.
The other thing is I don't know if you guys are gonna call it duo abusing, but like legit duo queue. Duo queue with somebody who's in the same MMR as you, or like same elo as you. So let's say I'm duo queuing with somebody who's also a diamond player, who's also a high diamond player or whatever, and he trusts you enough that he will do duo queue with you, or he's willing to duo queue on his main account, right? And so basically splits wise is so good because you're splitting, but he can like lead the fight, right? He can actually back off and ping. So you can't always watch when you're splitting, or you can't like ping your teammates over and over like while you're doing your own thing too, right? So I feel like that has helped. I don't know. What do you guys think about duo queue, by the way? Do you guys?
I think
you'll climb faster if you do a queue. Like there's no.
I think that like you just guaranteed to if you guys are both good and you guys are both on the same page, you'll get to you'll win games more consistently and you'll like climb like to a certain point faster, but you'll also just get to higher ranks than you actually would be in solo queue. Like like me and Badid pretty much win every fucking game when we duo, because another thing is that we also shore up each other's weaknesses, in that weaknesses that he has as a player are things that I kind of counter, and also just like lane jungle duos are just really strong.
Because this season is really interesting, where there are people who have never ever duoed before, like who always was a straight solo climber, right? Even me, I've never duoed with, except for my cousin when he helped me to get to Masters like 300 LP. But like that's, but yeah, I've never like guys like, let's say Faker. I've never seen him duo ever until this season. He started doing like consistently. Same as Dopa or TF Blade even. He duoed his rank 1 account like hard, right? So like I feel like gets to a point where right now this season, like a lot of people are doing, even the guys who were solo queuing always for like seasons after seasons are duo queuing a lot because of how meta is like one man can't carry everything. You need at least one.
My personal mentality, and I don't really have any reason for this, but just the way I am is I really want to just get solidified in Master as a solo player. because I
Mhm.
feel like I want to earn my. It's just like a pride thing. I just want to make
Yeah,
it
Same.
on my own.
Yeah,
And
I had
once I hit master, I don't mind duoing anymore because I think
Yeah.
it's competitive enough at that point where any edge you can get is like
Yeah,
respectable,
I think
and a lot of other
that's
people are going to be doing as
that's
well.
the Korean solo queue meta right now, where everybody once they hit masters, I don't think any streamers get shit about like doing in masters.
Yeah,
Right.
because at that
People,
point,
like-
then it's also just making the game more interesting because everyone's, I don't know, just playing at a higher level.
Yeah, you
so.
have an added level of synergy that wouldn't be there, making the games higher quality.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you have that extra layer of communication. I think over what 7 seasons, people already always know that if you could talk to the other teammates, you will do better. Like that's
Yeah,
just
but
kinda once they're
also
doing it on stream, you know.
But also another thing is that like League doesn't really have as many new players coming into it. So a lot of the players that are like in these higher ranks have been playing in higher ranked League for seasons upon seasons upon seasons. So the novelty of trying to be like a solo queue player and just playing solo kind of wears off for a lot of people. So the mentality sort of changes in solo queue where they just kind of stop giving a
like,
fuck about like
yeah.
competitive integrity and that kind of stuff.
There's one thing I've noticed myself when I'm legit like if I'm solo queue, right? And there were, you know how you can see club name tags, right? And you can see who's duoing sometimes, right? You don't have to actually op.gg and like see who had games with who, right? And I lose a lot of games to duo single.
Oh
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
because two duos can be on a team now.
Yeah, and two duos like always wreck me.
Oh, you know, I never even thought about that. More than one duo in the
I've
same
been
team.
calculating that, and I'm like, wow, I can't beat these guys because they're so organized. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah,
so
because if you have like a bot lane duo and then a mid jungle duo, like they're gonna win both things really hard. And then how do you like if you're the top lane Teemo, like what the fuck do you do about that when your entire map is just getting smurfed on?
like do this, do that, and they're like, don't tell me what to do. And then when the guy starts ending, and you're like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like it's just, I mean, I got so tilted, and I started doing because I wanted to learn how to play Teemo properly, right? Because I've been learning from streams and I've been whatever. And one of my mods is a master tier Teemo man, so he's been teaching me how to play Teemo. And a lot of times, like I'm either spectating his games or we duo queue, and I play jungle for him to see how he like lane trades and then like when to lane trade and stuff like that. And we were really surprised at how much games that we won together. We were both we were kind of both stuck earlier this season, and then somehow we both untilted each other, and I think that's a really good tool. You untilt each other, and then you go back to the solo queue. You know what I mean? Like you do a few games so that you untilt, and then you can solo queue. I don't know. Maybe that's like another cheating way of climbing.
I think a kind of unrelated, kind of tangential, but a good rule of thumb when you are duoing is just like, you know, just duo until you lose, and once you lose, just feel like, all right, it's okay, we lost, but let's go our separate ways now for now. Yeah, just because you don't want to, if you have a good duo partner, you don't want to start, you know, building resentment between each other about the games. Yeah, so you want to, especially if you value that duo, you want to.
Because there's a sub of mine who always asks to duo with me, and because I'm never mean to myself. If they're, that sounds really like paying for whatever, but like. You know, like I never say no to him because I'm like I genuinely don't care about ranks, especially this season. I just didn't care. So I was like, I have 20 plus accounts. Why not just play like a couple of quick games with my viewers? If they're in their promos and they're on their plat account, like might as well help them out or something, right? And if they're a sub, especially, like why am I like? There's nothing I lose out of doing that, right? I started doing that, and then one guy, basically, he's like a ex Diamond 4 player in KR server. So if you were KR like D4, you're not a bad player. You have game knowledge, right? And we start playing, and I have better synergy with this guy than anybody I've dueled with ever. So I've been doing with this guy like consistently, and we've been like destroying the ladder, like 85% win rate so far together in like about 30-40 games, right? And the weird thing is that this guy is actually a really good player in my opinion, but he starts to lose, like when he's solo queue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I still win. Like I still win my games when I'm soloing, but he starts to lose his solo queue games for some reason.
Because there is a skill of being able to team play. Like a lot of players who are solo queue gods don't generally tend to translate well over into competitive because the majority of what League is about is team play, and some people have the some people, like the guy that you're talking about, has a lot of the skill in the actual coordination and team play with other people, but might not necessarily have the solo skills to back that up, and it's kind of hard carried by his ability to win games with other people.
Right. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, your ability to work with and synergize with 4 random people that you don't know is a completely separate skill.
Yeah,
in and of itself.
Which is like almost never won games where people link Discords and stuff, because people are really autistic and have no like social skills and have
That's what I want to get into. Yeah.
They have no training in effective communication, so they never actually. There's never anything meaningful going on in those Discord conversations.
Well,
from my
sometimes
experiences.
You've tried a lot of them, because
Yeah.
I mean, I would say most people, even though it's a big meme that the whole gaming world's autistic, I think most people are just normal, down to earth people, and probably not as big of shitbags, in Discord. But how do you guys feel as streamers, getting in Discord with 4 random people that could violate the TOS at any time, that are you don't necessarily know how things are going to go. You're not really in control as a streamer.
I like Twitch understands that some
helps
things
your
will
odds.
go out of your way sometimes, and if you if you block them right away, that's fine after whatever they say, right? But I think this is a thing about like Yasupodcast said, like I don't really trust people like anymore, because I've done a lot of that. I've joined a lot of Discords, and a lot of it's like 15, 16-year-old kids who are trying to like they're just fucking around. They're high or they're drunk, and they're just like they're playing solo queue ladder, and it's just like they don't listen to. I think establishing who is the lead, who gives the order, is pretty important.
I don't know. I maybe it's just unluckiness, but I've had the few times I've done. How many times have I joined Discord? I've done it a bunch of times, and for the most part, I have a much higher win rate. There's even one time where I played with this guy, Tails Darcy. I don't know if you know him. I think he streams. He was like on a 10-game losing streak. He was really tilted, and I was just against him the previous round. And I got in Discord, and I was just hyping him up. It was me, him, and like two other guys in the Discord out of the 5. And I was like hyping him up, and we ended up smashing. And I don't know. I think mentality is a big thing. If you're able to create a positive atmosphere in the Discord, like kind of be friendly with everyone, just that mental attitude shift could be enough to make you win when you would have lost. So that's why I actually love getting in Discord when people ask me.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Another
here's the difference between Greg, you, and the rest of us. You are a very positive streamer. Like, from what I've seen, like I'm actually I'm trying not to be biased. I'm pretty salty and toxic of a streamer when it comes to solo queue. I get tilted very fast, and I get
Vondo.
And Vondo, and I think Yasupodcast was on that.
Hey.
It's just
wait. There were what?
I am. Yeah. I'm not as bad as they get, though. To be fair.
When I ask for, I ask chat sometimes.
Take it out in games.
Who's a positive streamer? Like okay, can he be really positive playing League of Legends? And they're always like the names that come up is like Panunu, GragAlbert. I was like, okay, maybe it's a Gragas thing, and they're like Box. Okay, maybe Riven. Okay, I used to play Riven. Why am I so toxic and he's not? And like, I don't know. It just comes to like, you're a positive guy, so basically you give that positive energy to that. I guess that Discord room. But for me personally, I go into that and it's just like I'm like, why am I here? These guys are not listening to me at all. Like they don't care about like Teemo top lane. Like what the fuck? Harambe's here. Isn't he the
Harambe is streaming right now, and he's in a game. So yeah,
he can't join us. I gotcha. Yeah, he's a Wukong, I think challenger or masters or something like that, right?
He was top 10 or something.
He was like rank 4, I think.
Yeah, he was rank 4 peak. He was rank 4 peak. But what's it called?
They nerfed Electrocute.
And Wukong.
And
they gave like 4 or 5 different nerfs to Wukong, and Wukong. I don't think there's any way to make him work in solo queue. He's just absolute dog shit.
To be honest, though, I feel like he might be back in it. I haven't seen people do it yet. I would be curious to see what Rom thinks of this.
Shift.
No, I'm thinking I haven't seen Dark Harvest Wukong yet. Why can't Dark Harvest Wukong be broken with Dusk? Like, because you have the Duskblade proc. the Dark Harvest proc, and it's absurd. It just
But
does
what it
insane
is
damage.
is that it's just not as good early.
That's
game.
jungle though. He mostly mains top lane.
And
True.
like when early game is bad, right now like Teemo still works because he has pressure early game, right? Like I think right now the entire thing about League is like early game pressure. That's why Shyvana is not a champ right now. Or like anything that doesn't have early game pressure, you can't help with the scuttle fights. You don't have, if your jungle gets invaded early and I feel like every game is a jungle game currently. If jungle gets ahead, like the game's really, really hard for the
freezing lanes as a top laner. Freezing lanes is almost non-existent in this meta. Like it's just the key is to just shove and roam into the jungle or protect your jungler. That's it. Like I don't even like honestly fighting the other top laner isn't even becoming less of a priority these days.
I mean,
Yeah, no,
Putting
100%
pressure in the
agree.
lane and just roaming.
You should agree with me. I don't know, Fondo. Top has always been an irrelevant lane when it comes to the League of Legends, and they've kind of balanced it as much as possible, right? The whole scuttle.
It's starting to mix in the jungle a little bit with the scuttle and the.
Yeah, but even so, I think jungle has it's a jungles game right now. Like even pros, like every time
lanes playing around jungle is where it's at.
Everything is about jungle.
As a jungler, I feel like mid priorities is so important. Like when I have a Kassadin like early game, and I feel like I can't do anything. I can't go for scuttle crabs. I can't go or anything. Like I feel like I'm useless. Like when I have like a mid with no priority, just like makes the game so much harder as a jungler. So like I feel like mid.
There's what was it? I don't know if you guys follow Korean ladder, like solo queue ladder. There's a guy named Tarzan, and I think he's in Griffin.
Yeah,
right?
Griffin.
Yeah, so he alone,
love that guy.
He's currently known as the Pirate King, like obviously from One Piece, Pirate King of KR right now, because he literally he's like, how TF Blade has like 3 accounts right now in like Challenger or something like that. He has about 6 or 7 accounts in Challenger. And they're all he's rank 1, rank 3rd, rank 4th. Like
he has almost all the top accounts. It's actually ridiculous looking at it.
And the rest of the people who are in there are all his teammates that he dueled with.
Yeah.
So because it's like it's ridiculous. Like all his duels and himself are all like, and this is the whole example of jungle meta. He's one of the best jungles in solo queue right now, and jungle basically not just him. Like jungle has dominated like Korean solo queue.
Yeah, I think that one thing I'm really sad that Griffin is not at Worlds. Like that's Griffin is probably like a top like 4 team in the world, and they're not at the World Championships.
There's two teams that I think are the best current teams, and I think Faker said it too. DWM. That's the one with Showmaker and it's Damwon and also Griffins. So Griffins, the story of how they made these teams are really incredible. Damwon is a new team. They're all made up of young kids who recently got Challenger and KR like solo queue. They're all solo queue players. They weren't like previous professional players either, most of them. So they just this big company made a pro team, and they just like, okay, let's just get guys who are like solo queue ladder like top players with good champ pool. Was it just basically invited a bunch of like kids, and they were so good together because these guys never played in the team before because they were solo queue players,
and they're also like really young.
Yeah, they're really young. So and they got first place in one of the like premier tournaments recently.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I know
you're showing
that
even solo queue ladder matters when it comes to team games, because if you can organize a solo queue, if you can organize 5 solo queue players, it's gonna work out.
Honestly, this isn't really talked about a lot, but being young isn't like the biggest advantage, but it is an advantage.
It's
like
such a big
when I was it is like when it's not just because of the physicality of it, just having a faster reaction time.
Yeah, I think that is almost irrelevant.
It's what it is the drive and they just do not burn out. Younger kids just do not burn out. They don't get bored of it. Like when I was a kid, I played one game called like Black and White, and I just every weekend I would calculate how many hours I had to play that game, and I would just play it, and I got super fucking good at it. I wish League existed at that time, because I'd honestly be really fucking up there if it was. Like,
I feel like
when you have that.
I don't know about you guys, but after I'm finished my stream, like let's say I play 10 hours of League of Legends, right? Then I'm like, my back is dead. Like I'm exhausted and depleted, right? I'm exhausted. But if it was like, even 4 years ago or 5 years ago back in high school,
Yeah.
I would have been like, fine, 10 hours is nothing. You know what I mean? I would have just been like the breeze. So I think it is, gameplay, endorphin, and like excitement too.
Yeah, and it's also that younger people are just like more stupid, and they don't have like proper risk assessment.
Oh yeah. So they just go in for fights where we're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do this. We're just like namby-pamby about it, and we just mess up.
Yeah, and they also don't have anything they don't have as much to lose since they have more of their life ahead of them.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if they dedicate so much time to something, they're not there's not as many downsides to it.
Yeah.
I think it's just the mentality of just finding something you're good at and new, and then the drive to just get that competitive drive when you're younger to just get better at it and just never stop playing and just not burn out.
Yeah, but there's also the thing about not just reaction. Well, reaction time is actually a really.
I don't know if there's been like actual science to say like it's.
I mean, it's quite
like
obvious.
better, right?
Younger kids have good reaction time.
But that
No,
might
like,
not necessarily mean
the
because they're
peak-
like physically faster. It might just mean because
The-
adults don't spend as much time
the
doing
peak
the same stuff.
the peak
you know?
for athletes is around 27 to 30.
Yeah.
So like
I'm at my peak.
say like the idea that players retiring before they're like 24 because they're just like washed up and they don't have the actual like physical capabilities is like one of the most stupid bullshit things that there is.
But then again, you have to think about how many hours they put into it. Like they all have like risk problems and they have all these things, right? Because they've been playing for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, just continuously, right? And like it's different from Korea and NA for sure. NA players, like NA pros, they just have fun with it, right? They just like they enjoy it. If their wrist hurts, they stop playing. In Korea, if your wrist hurts, you keep playing first, and then if you get injured, like you ice it and you still play with the ice on. It's like fucked up. Like Korea is really like man, because this is like this is how they survive. It's not even like about career or anything. Because these like in Korea, everything is about like what kind of job you're gonna have and what kind of education you're gonna have. These guys give up education for this. They give up every future aspect of this, like future prospects for this.
Yeah, because of the way that the system works.
Yeah, because once if they let's say they all in pro gaming, right? And then they become 23, 24 and they didn't make enough money or they didn't create enough hype so they don't have enough followers to like stream or whatever. Then now basically these guys are just dead weight to their parents, to their society, to their friends. That they can't get any other jobs because they don't have any qualifications.
Yeah, no skills, employment, no training, just a NEET.
Yeah, so why? Obviously, they're gonna go way ham than like let's say an LCS player. Like let's say, I'm not gonna say like PewDiePie, but let's say
Cause like there's nobody fighting for your spot in
yeah, exactly. Nobody's like dying to take your shit. Like
because there's just so little talent that NA just tends to recycle talent that's already there because there's nobody in solo queue who's really good. And I don't think player base is as big of an issue as people make it out to be. It really just the things that make NA bad at League are things that are more dispersed throughout the general culture. Like the general culture of NA is not something that is good for breeding talent.
I mean, I would have given up on League of Legends even like 2 years ago if I wasn't Korean. Like like I work as an actor, like I actually made good money, like I was getting my career ahead of myself, and I'm like, because of like societal pressure of like all my friends, let's say play League of Legends, right? If you can't even get to Diamond, you're basically a loser in that community.
Yeah.
Whereas getting to loser, I mean, getting Diamond is being a loser in let's say NA culture, let's say like nerd kind of thing, like nerd jock, whatever bullshit that goes on. If you play like 10 hours of video games a day, you're a loser to like NA mind.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about like
That's the ironic thing. Even the gamers, if you're diamond, you're shit. So it's like this.
Yeah, but in Korea, like rank actually matters because you go to school, right? You're in school for like, I don't know if you guys know this, like you stay in school till 10 p.m.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know a lot about the Korean education system.
Yeah, so it's fucked up, right? And the only breaks they get, they play games, right? And these games become like a societal hierarchy. Whereas if you Okay, let's say you have a challenger friend, right? You have a challenger friend
Hmm?
in like your school, high school, right? If in your school, if like 10 people play League of Legends seriously, that challenger friend's gonna be like a god. Like everybody's gonna kiss up to him because they're like, holy shit, he's a challenger, right? But in Korea, everybody in your school, even the girls, are playing League. So this challenger is more than a god. This guy's like, like it just becomes like, and everybody wants to be god. Everybody wants to be this.
He is at the top of the social hierarchy at a level where
I guess like celebrity status.
like in like American high schools, there are there's not even really like super popular kids from from my experience is that like everybody's sort of in like their own niche. Everybody's so disconnected that there are people who are like sort of known within a large majority, but there's a lot of people who just don't give a fuck about them and like are just kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, it's
but in like Korea, since everybody is a little bit more homogenous in terms of interests around League, that they'd be at a much higher level than anybody in an NA high school could be.
Yeah, and there's also like a society of like Korean NA players. So there's like Discords and Facebook groups I'm in that are strictly for people who are Koreans, but they play in NA because they're either an international student or they're a citizen here, right? And among these people, like my cousin, for example, was a god. Like girls wanted to get his number. Like girls wanted they would have done anything for Elo, like an Elo carry daddy or whatever, right? And this is like, if that becomes a thing, like even in a small community of Koreans in North America, imagine like an entire country of that with like 10 times the population.
Yeah, no, I completely I've talked about this a lot with my roommate because we have a lot of like really
so hard to try and get masters.
Yeah, Vondel's DMs are open. Females are welcome to his DMs.
I'm hard stuck Diamond 3. DMs are open.
On that note, this might be it might be oversimplifying things a bit, but I think the difference between regions in general, I think, is very tied to just simply population of players, and I think that's something that people forget that. In OCE, for example, people always meme on OCE, but there are just a lot less players than in NA, for example.
Yeah, like per capita.
Exactly, and just so it's just more competitive. The ladder is more competitive. If you have twice the player base in Korea, for example, then it's going to be way more competitive to get into the higher ranks than here. So I think that makes a bigger difference than people realize. You could say whatever you want in meme, but at the end of the day, just the amount of pure players in a region will make the ladder harder to climb. It's just that simple.
Yeah, I mean, and also how much governments or even big companies are putting in money into competitive gaming. Like,
Kespa is a thing.
Kespa is a thing. Like, okay, thing about Korea is that they actually have not just sponsors, but like actual like teams, like professional teams, like a basketball team or baseball team. They actually have companies representing teams, like big companies like Samsung. Like that actually says a lot. And even like China got really, really good recently, right? This is actually, I don't know if you guys have heard of this. China actually has universities, post-secondary colleges that are just for gaming right now. Like you can major in League of Legends.
I did not know that.
No. Okay, so this you can Google this. I actually laughed like a lot. So there's like a couple of majors, like professional gaming, and then they also have majoring for coaching. You have to take a minor in coaching, or like minor in event organizations, because not all these kids that graduate from these universities are gonna have like China League, post-secondary. I guess post-secondary, yeah. I saw it on a news article and I was like, "What?" And Chinese, they're really good at League now. Like they're actually really like they're.
So do you like pick a role? Do you like want to major in like top lane, or is it just like in general?
Me?
No, like for those people, like do they pick like one role, or is it just like they major in like just like game?
I think they major in the game. Like there's 4 main games I played. Like because it's popular, PUBG, League of Legends, Overwatch. Like there's a few like that are competitive and like people make money off that. And there's like so much events going on about that. Hold up, let me search with you guys.
Yeah, if you want to find it, post it in Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, first League of Legends college opened in China. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, they just have a league team, right? Or is it actually
No,
like
it's a
some
college.
kind of...
It's a fucking college campus.
Huh.
Like they're actually making they're trying to make this a new norm, right? Because esports is they're gonna make this into like you know how big software
wow.
is? Like this is what they're trying to do,
But
right?
that's so strange. Wow. That's...
I mean,
Wait,
people
where-
used to
where-
say the same thing about racing cars, right? Like,
Well, I mean, but there's no like, is there like a fucking car college out there? Just
well, there's like
spend
training
something
centers.
like...
There are.
I know there's like training classes and stuff, but
I mean,
I can see like a technical
everything
institute or
starts with
something
education.
for like
Like if there's
video
like people who are
games.
willing to learn and people who are willing to teach, then there's always going to be a room for. Like they're just really fast on it because I need like eventually a real popular sport. Esports is already becoming a sport, but like it's gonna be one of the most popular sports in the world. It really already is, right? Considering how many games and how many different types.
I mean, because also like in terms of raw numbers, it probably is because China, like, I don't think that people realize so much that it's completely irrelevant how League is declining in the West, and it has zero relevance on how big League is going to be, because League is like 80% of something of China's player base is in China. It's so huge. It's so huge. And it doesn't matter how well League does in NA if
Can you tell everyone in the call if they're looking
I'm
for
just
a
I'm
brand
just getting
main?
what's it called? Notifications. But yeah, like League could completely die. NA could completely just give up League, and League will still be chugging on just as fine as it was before.
Yeah,
because
it
everything
would
is
not even affect anything, to be honest. Like,
yeah. Like it NA is irrelevant in everything.
they made the game, but they're the worst at it. Like,
Yeah.
the funny thing about I don't know if you guys follow PUBG. So like, obviously, I play. I'm mostly I'm ScottTheTeemo, right? So I'm mostly a League of Legends streamer, but I do a lot of variety of different games, and I'm pretty high ranks for most games I play, right? Because I try hard to get good at it, right? And PUBG, I got to be 0.01% of all NA. Like I was top 50 in NA, right? So I was looking into PUBG a lot, and like PUBG, for example, NA like NA and EUW has always been the best at FPS. They've always been the number one in FPS, right? And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's see how they do in world competition, right? Because China and like Korea has been like really on PUBG, and you guys know, like Twitch has been going up on PUBG and stuff, right? And so, yeah, first place and third person, Korea took it. Event matchup, Korea took it. China took the first FPP as well. So they won all the tournaments. Asian countries won every single tournament so far.
It's like a lot of people have the mindset of Korea being really good, or Asia in general being really good at certain esports but really bad in others. But they're good in literally every esport that they actually play. And
it's just popularity, right? Because PUBG is, when I was in Korea this year, I was just shocked. I went to those internet cafes, right? And there's internet cafes everywhere in Korea, by the way, with one ping internet. Awesome. So I go to these places and they're like high-end like computers with like 1080 Ti on every single computer, which is crazy. And like there's like hundreds of computers in every location, and all of these are 24/7, by the way. As long as you pay 50 cents an hour, you can play whatever game you want, and everything is installed. Everything is like there for you. Now you start playing these games, and you start realizing if you look up and depending on which internet cafe you go to, there's things like this. If you're a Diamond 5 player in League of Legends or higher, you can get free fries. Or if you get promoted to D4 or like D3 in that like internet cafe during like you play ranked games there and you get promoted, then they'll give you a free like French fries or like burgers or whatever. Or like if you get 2 chickens or 3 chickens in a row in PUBG, you get like a Happy Meal set or whatever. They'll actually give you like there's like prizes.
no, there's there's restaurants in China that will give you
Discount.
yeah, discounts for
Basically.
what your league rank is, and
Yeah,
they're like
so-
real like good discounts, like not like fucking 5% discounts for being challenger.
It's really nerdy. It's like a nerd cool, but it's like really cool to me. But it's weird at the same time because I was raised here with NA culture.
Yeah, no, 100%. A lot of the that's why there's such big weeaboo culture in NA, is because like there's a lot of people who heavily identify with the kind of things that are actually going on in these cultures, but oftentimes they don't really
have any idea, or like they're not really.
Yeah, they want to take all of the good things and not all of the bad things, when they don't understand that all of these things come as like a sort of package deal. You have all of the weeaboo style stuff and all of this cool things, but there's so much baggage that comes with it that it makes it just not that good.
It's terrible, actually, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that there are some things that would be really valuable to bring over to NA culture, but a lot of things that are just terrible.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of? Okay, this is a really good question for, I guess, all of you. So, because I'm like, as you guys know, Teemo main, yeah, everybody's favorite champ. But I've been actually playing a lot of meta champs recently and winning a lot of games with it. Do you guys ever think like, oh, maybe I should try something different to climb? Because
whenever
climbing is hard right now, right? And then I'm like,
I always give this like a speech whenever people ask me like, oh, how do I climb, or should I be playing different champions, this, that. I personally believe that in solo queue anything can win, and obviously certain things are easier to win with than others, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, if you're not having enough fun to put the hours in, and to this kind of also links back to what Vondel and Yasuro were talking about before, with the motivation to not burn out and stuff like that. Whatever you can do in the game to make yourself not burn out, to make yourself want to put the hours in, to make yourself passionate about the game, that's going to go like a long way, and it's going to be much more beneficial to your skill and rank in the game than just playing meta stuff. Unless you enjoy that. Like if you enjoy playing the meta champions, that's one thing, but I don't think you should purposely go out of your fun zone to climb, because I think it's going to end up with you playing less and not improving as much as you could. So that's why I tell people, I'm like, listen, if the only way you enjoy playing League of Legends is crit Sona jungle, then do it, because you need to put the hours in. You need to learn about the game. You need to have a great time. Otherwise, you're not going to be even willing to put the time into the game to really get good, quote unquote, and learn it, and learn about macro, and learn about strategy, and learn about just what the other champions do from like in terms of matchups. So that's always the speech I give. I always say, you could play meta champions and it might be easier if you're enjoying yourself, but at the end of the day, the hours you put in and the passion you have for the game is going to determine your overall rank and skill in the long run. That's how I feel.
You know what? I agree. In earlier seasons, I played Trin, but I only played Trin in half my games. In the other half, I was just a meta slave. And when I initially peaked in season 3, like when I hit my highest rank at that time, I wasn't even playing Trin. I was playing Zac top. That was just abusing the meta, and Zac top was busted as hell. Over the years, I burned out eventually, and I quit, and I came back and started spamming Trin. Now, I tried to play some other champs again that I used to play in previous seasons, but they weren't really meta anymore. And I'd been so out of practice with them. But the more I grinded and the more I played Trin some more and just dedicated all my time to that champion, the more I realized I just don't really have fun on the other champions anymore, and I don't really want to put in the time and effort to learn them and just grind them, because you can't just pick them on a whim and then just play them. Like if I wanted to start playing like one champion right now, like Kennen, I can't just pick him whenever Trin's banned. I have to constantly pick him over Trin just to get the hang of him, just to learn him. I can't just pick him like one out of every 10 games.
True.
The more you're focused on one champion, the more you can focus less on the champion itself and more about, what should I be doing? Should I be roaming right now? Should I be grouping with my team? All the macro sense of things,
It's taking
so I like to focus on that more. Trin's just like breathing. Yeah, I don't really have to think about playing Trin. I just think about everything else, and I'd rather just do that. I have more fun doing that.
Because if you're not like a pro player, playing 20 champions is like stupid. So generally it's like taking the concept of minimizing your champion pool to maybe 3 champions max, and then just taking that strictly to 1. However, what I'm going to say is that there are some people who have the mindset of wanting to
Master a bunch.
like just playing more to the goal is not to get really good, and that's not what the enjoyment is deriving from, in the sense of wanting to play something that might be a little bit more inferior for fun, because the goal isn't to be as good as possible. The goal is to have fun. And that's fine, but that's not like a mentality if you want to actually get good at climbing. Me specifically, I play Trinomir because I am a small brain, low IQ player who can't do anything else. No, seriously, Trinomir covers up a lot of the weaknesses that I personally have as a player. And I do a lot of really, really stupid shit, but you can do that stupid shit on Trend. Like you know those Yasuos that go 1 in 10 in your games? I am that Yasuo, but I'm just playing Trinomir, so it doesn't matter as much.
Right, because you start at 10 deaths.
yeah, and like you can do a lot of stupid shit. You can overextend so much on Trinomir, and it does not matter, because there's just a lot of things that Trinomir can do that other champions can't.
Yeah, I'm the same way on Warwick, because like Graves and Kindred are like hands down the best junglers in like solo queue right now. And I've tried learning Graves, and whenever I play like Kindred or Graves, I feel like I could be doing so much more when I'm on Warwick, and it would take so much effort to like actually get good at Graves. So like it's not even worth like attempting to be like the best.
Actually, because I'm actually like a second pick Warwick right now. Like as in when I get jungle or when I actually don't get Teemo, I always play Warwick, and I actually have a better win rate with Warwick. It's funny enough, and I actually enjoy playing him. He's so fucking busted, and I love to run somebody down when they flash and they think they get away, but they still can't. I love that. Now,
yeah.
So a question for you, I guess. Kindred is your counter, and Graves can be your counter if he kites you well. Right?
Nothing counters Graves. He's like the top.
Yeah. But he counters you like as a Warwick.
Yeah.
Like, Warwick is countered by Kindred and Graves and Talia. And
I ban Graves every game.
Yeah. So how do you adjust to that? How do you? Because I can't adjust to that shit. I just ban it. So I ban Kindred right now.
So like if I play against a Kindred, I usually focus on. So like if you know where they start, you can usually I usually try to invade their other buff before they get to it. So if you can sneak their other buff, like if they're starting blue, you can sneak their red, and if they don't notice that, like you pretty much win the early game. Like
because they have to waste that pathing just to get there.
But if their top lane like notices you doing that, then you have to like I think I've noticed like if you're starting on bottom side, so you take your red and then you go to golems, and then from there you can usually fight them at the bottom crab, and I think you can win that because if you can get to the bottom crab and get level 3 before they get there, and you're level 3 and they'll be level 2. So
right.
I think I don't know. It's just I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's just like you have to if you get behind it versus Kindred as Warwick, like you're pretty much the game's like ruined. You can't ever catch up. But you have to like focus more on how to get ahead early game and what their pathing is going to be. So if you know they start blue, you know they're going to do blue and then Gromp, and they're going to try to get the bottom Scoville. So you have to like play around that and try.
Yeah, I'll add you on. I'll add you on my main, and we'll talk later.
Yeah,
because I enjoy that champ a lot, and I actually made guides about it too on like different like on Reddit, Mobile Fire, and like a bunch of other shit, and like I'm actually enjoying that champ thoroughly.
The best thing that Warwick is like people don't expect how much healing you have. Like you can be at like 20% HP and get back to full. And
Dude, once you have your message, you are a god. Nothing can like heal more than you. Maybe a Jax, maybe. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. I do agree that a lot of things just don't. Not a lot of things kind of good Warwick.
Yeah, Warwick
late game.
What do you? Okay.
He's not really good late game.
What are your bans right now, all of you guys? What are your current bans? Like, what do you guys ban right now?
So I ban LeBlanc, and I tell my team to ban Akali. Akali, because Akali is the most broken thing that has ever existed in League.
Pretty stupid,
like,
yeah.
Fuck Zoe. Like, Akali can be 1 in 3 and still one shot. You're fairly beefy dude, and there's not a lot of counterplay to it if they have any brains at all. And
it's okay, dude. Like Riot promised they nerfed her really hard.
Yeah, that 50 damage or ults nerf, so good.
If nobody bans Akali, then I feel like I
You
have
play
to ban
bronze,
Akali.
idiot.
If I'm not banning Akali, then I'm praying that the enemy team bans
So
Akali.
what do you ban, Vondo?
But I'll ban Akali if no one on my team bans her. But if somebody bans Akali, then Kennen.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
He's
Kennen
becoming
counters
royalty
Tryndamere pretty
meta,
hard.
and
But there's not a lot of
no
Kennen players right now.
there aren't, but anyone can just pick up Kennen and just do pretty well into Tryndamere because there's not a lot of counterplay that Trynd can do. If you ever spin on top of Kennen, he will almost always proc his phase rush and stun you, so there's like no way to re-engage.
Yeah.
And he just harasses you down at into the tower. Still, he's not, in my opinion, he's not as bad as Teemo because Kennen cannot like run you down the same way a Teemo can.
Yeah, a good Teemo player. I'm not saying I'm a good Teemo player, but a good Teemo player can be really scary against. Like,
yeah, well, depending on how Teemo like itemizes too. Like if Teemo really wants to fuck you, like this is the thing. Like you can beat Teemo as Trynd, you can all in him. But if the Teemo actually wants to just dedicate as much resources to you as you are to him, he will beat you.
Yeah, he'll get tabby.
He can build. Yeah, exactly. He could build Tabai. He could build. I've seen a Teemo build Randu and Zolman, Frozen Mallet and like Blade the Rune King and just shit all over me. There's no way to fight him.
Like I'm one of those people who specialize in beating 3 champions and 3 champions only with Teemo: Singe, Fiora, and Tryndamere. And even on Tryndamere, I just get Q first so that he can't like level 2 cheese me as well.
Exactly. Yeah, a good Teemo will just do that. Like if the Teemo builds toxic darts first, then I'm like, oh, okay, I can actually hit this guy level 1. Maybe I can all in him.
Yeah.
But if Kennen's not my ban, I'm not worried about a Kennen, then Rise is the same as Kennen. Like he's just unbeatable.
See, like a lot of other Tryndamere players have issues with Rise. I don't because I'm a high IQ Tryndamere player.
Of course.
Wait, wasn't there a glitch with Rise where one of his abilities ignored your ult or something?
Yes, that was a thing. That was a thing, and that was making him bannable. But
they did.
The person that I ban is LeBlanc.
LeBlanc's worse than Rise.
But you play mid. Here's the difference.
Yeah.
Mondo plays top, and you play mid.
Yeah. So we do have different bans, but I just generally just ban. I don't have any issues with any top matchups, to be honest. So I just always ban LeBlanc.
You don't play enough. Kennen would fuck you up. Rise would fuck you up. Teemo would fuck you up.
Kennen one-trick masters or even like D2, D3. Like there's a guy, a streamer. Should I say his name? I'm gonna say his name. I'm a man. All right, Synchronizer. Now he's not a bad Kennen. He's terrible at every fucking champion except Kennen. Now he has like thousands of games on Kennen, obviously, right? And he peaked like D2, I think, on Kennen, and I don't think he's that good of a Kennen player either. But even he would just fuck Tryndamere. Like it's just not playable against. Is that toxic? That's probably toxic. Right?
Nah, he's just memeing you. He's just memeing you. But yeah, fuck, what's it called? There's literally nothing you can do as Tryndamere against LeBlanc. Like he will just kite you. Or she will just kite you and she'll dash away and like you can like she has so many dashes in so many ways that you can never actually get on top of her and she can just burst.
Is Akali easier than LeBlanc to verse?
I would rather
LeBlanc hard counters you.
I would rather play against Akali than LeBlanc, I think.
Yeah,
but
LeBlanc is a pretty busted champion.
The problem with LeBlanc is as Tryndamere, even if you have 45, look, I was going like the 80 CDR build, like super mobile build, and I still get run down or can't catch LeBlanc because of the way her kit works. She just counters your kit. It's just not really like you gotta hope that LeBlanc is just terrible.
How do you guys do against Kale? Because
Kale's easy. Kale's no problem.
I mean, Kale's just garbage in this meta. She's Kale like just bottom 2
to pop off.
Okay.
She's like bottom 5 tier champion.
I'm gonna guess Greg bans Pike.
No, I ban Morgana every single game.
Ah, damn.
Oh, she just ruined your combos, right?
I cannot stand playing against Morgana. I think she's busted as hell.
The most busted, yeah. She is literally the most busted.
Aerie makes her spell shield give also a normal physical shield. So she has a magic physical shield that gives spell immunity. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I have 67% plus win rate on Morg on every account I have. And
the only time I don't ban Morgana is if I'm top lane, because if I'm top lane, I usually won't even interact with Morgana, so I trust my teammates to like deal with it.
If I get autofield support, then my first pick is Morgana. Like there's no way.
I feel
I've
like
always
I would
been
be. I feel like I would really enjoy playing Morgana mid again because I used to main her, and whenever I can play her, I do pretty well with Morgana mid, as you can see in chat on that picture. But fuck, what's it called? She's always banned because she hard counters a bunch of certain supports that I never get to play her because she's banned because of support Morgana.
Yeah.
Every time I play her support, I just feed because I can't like position myself for the ult like ever.
A lot of times, like it's not even positioning. It's just like sometimes you can just ult, just save your flash for that one ult engage. Sometimes you like die with your flash on because you want to get that proper engage. Because a team fight, there's a trick that I learned as a Riven one trick. I used to be a Riven one trick. Is that you save your flash. Sometimes you get caught out, right? And then you die, right? And you save your flash when you die because they're not going to get any objectives off that one death. Whereas in a good team fight, you can actually take 3 or 4 down, right?
Yeah, with a good flash.
Yeah, with a good flash. Yeah.
I was gonna say on the Morgana topic, the other reason I hate her is just because as a support main, if she hits a binding on my AD carry, like I can't do anything about it, and my AD is just rooted for 10 minutes and just insta dies, and it's just so it's like even worse than a Blitzcrank pull or a Thresh hook. It's just
you can't flash out.
Just pick Morgana and use Black Shield on your ADC.
Yeah, I guess. No, but it's also just so low commitment. Like with a blitz, you're pulling someone in, like they're gonna be able to damage your carry or whatever. And you're committing a good amount with like any other catch
here's the thing.
champion. Morgana, you just throw out a Q from a mile away, and if it doesn't hit whatever,
you miss a blitz,
they'll skin off your back.
Pull, you lose all the pressure in lane. Like you have no pressure afterwards. If you miss a Morgana Q, she still has Black Shield, so your ADC is still safe.
And you're miles away and ranged.
And here's another thing I tested. Blitz's pull is actually less cooldown. I mean, Morgana's Black Shield is less cooldown than Blitz's hook.
There you go.
So it's like, what do you do? What do you do? You try to get some
cooldown as his hook too.
What's up?
And her Q is like half the cooldown of his hook anyway, so like you can throw out like 2 Qs before.
Yeah. It's like why would you ever play Blitz?
I mean Blitz.
Yeah. The other champion I ban, my 2 highest bans is Morgana like 90% of the time, and then if she's banned or I'm top lane, I always ban Camille because I just think she's I think a champion that can do 1,000 true damage late game on a 3-second cooldown, not ultimate ability is just I just don't understand how it makes any sense.
A trick to killing a Camille is one champion and one champion only. If it's top lane, just play one
pretty well into her.
Yeah, Trend does well into her, so I don't give a fuck
Wait, did you say Malphite? Malphite? Really? She does.
Malphite is the strongest top laner when it comes to 2 champions. Well, actually,
any melee like Malphite is pretty good though.
But Camille, especially, my first time playing Malphite in I think it was a D2 game, and I destroyed a Camille one trick with like thousands of games.
They buffed him too. Like they need to. I think they need to revert that.
Just max E first, and you just E the ground when every time she tries to auto a minion, her health would go down by like a lot. You don't even have to dodge her skill shots. Like her W, just let it hit your passive. It doesn't matter. Like nothing can hurt you, and every damage you do on her, like it's gonna do so much, and then you get grasp.
If she uses her ability and gets her shield, if you auto attack her, she gets a physical shield, right?
Yeah,
because I know she gets based. It's adaptive.
Your E does so much damage. You E before she gets her shield, so you E when she gets close, and you that's all you need to put in. Anything else after that, you don't even have to auto her, so the minion aggro doesn't go on you. So it's like there's 0 counter for that matchup. Her whatever, like her ult or her E, you can catch up with your ult too. So it's like everything in her kit and everything in Malphite's kit is just such a bad counter. She can never kill you 1v1. Just got to play safe for the jungle, and then that's it.
I don't know, dude. I think at level 18, I don't think she loses to anyone.
Well, level 18, obviously, but like you got to think of when she's level 18. Even if you're level 16 Malphite with 3 ults leveled up, you're gonna just destroy things. What I do on Malphite, this is in
a team fight. Yeah, I'm talking about. I see when it's happened to me a couple games in a row, and that's why I like permaban her on top. If she just goes and splits level 18, and no one can touch her 1v1 because she has an iframe, an invulnerable frame. You guys probably know what that is.
Yeah, like speed running. Yeah.
She has an iframe. Number 1. Number 2, her E like range is ridiculous. So even if you try to collapse on her, most of the time she's going to be able to get away. She can either dodge an ability with her ult and then get out, or anything. And if you try to just duel her 1v1 in the side lane at level 18, doing 1,000 true damage every 3 seconds, you're just and getting a shield. I just don't. I don't see how she could be beaten.
There's very few champs that can beat.
But if you
yeah, actually, Tryndamere is a good champ because he has
Tryndamere's a good pick into
because she's just going into Tryndamere, and that's exactly what Tryndamere wants.
Yep.
Because Tryndamere doesn't care about burst. There's a lot of champions.
Like, Riven and Tryndamere both can like.
Well, her damage is really predictable too.
Riven can delete Camille before she lands any of her combos, so that's actually a scary thing too. She waits like Riven can wait in a bush and then just E stun her and then just do a full combo before she ults or anything.
Yeah, but there's also such a disparity between even like a D2 Riven and then a
and then
challenger.
There is
like a Viper is like so clean to such a level to where like you can't actually
Viper's not just good at Riven, he's good at every champion.
I've beat his Riven in lane. For the record,
I mean I have too, but it's okay because like he can trade in a way where there's not any way to actually answer back, whereas even like a high diamond Riven, you can still really easily trade into them, but because their combos, because there's so much skill expression on the champion that it's really hard to actually do anything.
Riven is too much of a solitaire champ. Like it's just dependent on the person just doing what they need to do correctly, and if they do, then you can't really do anything about it. At least in some melee champs like Trent.
Hey guys, my duo's on, so I'm gonna get an league game. Thanks for having me on here. I don't know if I contributed much, but it was fun talking to you guys. And
you are a positive contributing member of this, and I am proud of you, and I love you.
Right, well,
but I'm not unblocking you.
I still think you're a degenerate, but I'll unblock you.
Dude, the Weedwick meme. Oh my god, this is so good.
Did they tell you about it, Greg?
Well, I was here listening, but also before you go, I just want to. I don't know if you remember this, but I just want to share my story for when I met Weedwick. He was in my game and he was popping off like hard, and then something happened. So he got tilted and he just like started inting. And everyone was like, report Warwick. And I stayed in post-game chat and I said, listen, dude, honestly, like, I understand why you were feeling so shitty. That person was flaming you and it was unreasonable, whatever. But I think you're a really, really good player. And if you just got your mental together, you would climb so much harder than you currently do. Like I looked at his match history. I basically gave him like a psychological profiling. I said, I think you're actually an insane player. You just, based on this game, you tilted way too hard. And if you just muted people or something, and he was like, oh, I'm better mentally when I'm high as fuck. And I said, yeah, just smoke more weed, do whatever you need to do. Just you need to calm down and you can really climb hard. And ever since then we became friends. And that's just like my Weedwick story. But
that's why I didn't believe him when he was Deadmau5, because I was like, Deadmau5 is just hard stuck Diamond 4, Diamond 5. And then like, why is Weedwick in my games all the time? He's like, he's still Diamond 2. I'm like, God damn it, when's he gonna promote or demote so I can play my game?
Your issue isn't skill. Your issue is that your mental is what is blocking you.
Like we agreed.
The 50% mentality.
Weedwick, imagine if you were.
I tilt way too hard, but I think the mechanics are on point. If I just gave up less and tried a lot harder, and
I think the same about a lot of players in solo queue.
Yeah.
You get tilted, but imagine if you were fucking streaming this shit and then you got you get the same kind of negative attention streamers get when,
I feel
like imagine how you would
I'd be too distracted,
so
like trying to like put on the persona like for my stream.
Streaming really like sometimes like I play so much better when I'm just off stream and just trying.
No, 100%, because focus is a limited resource, and you're spending that focus resource on being a good streamer, and that focus takes away from the game. When you're looking at chat, you could be looking at the minimap.
Yeah, everybody's different at
exactly.
I'm a terrible multitasker, evidently, so I just can't.
Dude, that's what tilts me the most. Like when I have streamers on my team, that just like I know when they're looking at their chat because like they're just like standing there and not doing anything. Like
me and Cowsep, I played like 50 games of Cowsep when he was on NA, like a year ago. And we had such an easy way to win the game if we just like executed a split well, but he was like not focusing on the fucking game at all. He was focusing on like being a streamer, and he just didn't give a fuck about wins. And then he was like complaining about like Yi Trin comps when we had such an easy way to execute a win, but he just refused to ever do it because he's just
Oh
like,
yeah, what do you guys think about E?
I think
I
Yi
thought
Yi is like super. Yi has a lot of skill expression, and I think that really, really, really good Yi players can do really well.
Yeah, I dodge all E players.
Yeah, my
On
I like
your
playing
team?
into League because like I'm one of the only few champs that could duel him.
Yeah.
There's a few like where my auto dodge. Last season it was mid Lux and mid Ari I dodged, but now they're really OP. So this season it's like Amumu and Sona. like Amumu I definitely dodge. I'm not playing ranked games with Amumu.
Yeah.
There's
I think
there's an Amumu one trick who has hard carried me multiple times. Nubrak, do you guys know Nubrak?
Yeah, I know Nubrak.
He goes full AP Amumu when he just one shots.
Yeah, I think that's a way that Amumu
crazy.
can actually be viable.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm not questioning his viability, but I'm just saying that I don't trust that champion.
Yeah, I could
at all.
probably
I don't
dodge
trust
everybody
Veins
but
either.
Nubrak.
I would want to dodge Veins,
'Cause,
but
like-
I dodge enough already.
If you're playing in a Mumu, what happened? Like what scenario is it shit? It's like when you get a good bandage toss, flash ult, and then nobody follows up, right? That's like the shit.
But if you're the
condition of playing
follow
Mumu.
up,
Exactly. If you're full AP and all that damage is guaranteed because it's a giant AoE, set of CC, and you're guaranteeing that you're getting like he builds Rabadon's like first item, and you're just getting tons of magic damage on them. It seems really, really good. In solo queue, at least.
because
I
Amumu's
think it
AP
is.
ratios are ridiculous. Like they're so fucking high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think next season there's a new rank coming, as you guys know. Two new ranks, Iron and
Grandmaster.
and if I really want Grand, I kind of want to because it's a new rank. I've never hit Challenger.
Pity Masters next season. Can't wait.
Did any of you? Okay, I've never hit Challenger. I'll open up about that. How about any of you guys? Have anybody here peaked Challenger?
No.
I'm the
My peak is D1 100 LP.
My biggest peak was pre-Masters, so there's no way to know if I was in Masters MMR at the time. But I think I was Masters or very close.
And you were younger back then too, right? Probably.
Yeah, that was like season 3.
No, I think it was older.
Yeah, I was definitely older a few years ago.
that makes sense mathematically. But I think So I'm thinking just becoming a really dull human being and playing 3 champs in ranked like Urgot, Scion, and Orin, and becoming just.
Yeah, but those are so boring, and it's so hard to carry with those. And when they fall out of the meta, you're fucked. So
I don't think they're gonna fall out though. Sion's been
probably
in
won't.
for a long
Maybe
time.
not Scion.
Sion's
Sion's
really
a good example of a good rework, honestly.
Yeah, Sion's really good. I think Sion's been like I don't know. I've played a couple. I've never played Sion by the way until this season. Never played
He's
Sion.
really easy to
And
play.
some people started sniping my Teemo or banning it. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna dodge it. It's my promoter. Like, it's my Smurf account. Let's just fuck around. Let's play something. And I've been trying different picks, and I'm like, Sion, the hell, this champ is so easy to play. And
I was thinking about picking him up, honestly, when
he
someone
is
bans
such
my
a
train
freelance
these
player,
days.
honestly. Like,
No, I think you could do
yeah.
that. I think you could actually do that. Like,
I
you heard-
think
You
he
don't have
does so
to
much
run-
damage. He builds Rush's Frozen Heart, still does ass loads of damage because of his base.
Yeah, so you don't have
And that's
to
a good
run
way to
the-
get back at people who target like, oh, you want to target
Yeah.
ban me on a champion that's not even OP? I'll just play Brain Dead Scion and
Yeah,
just
that's seriously. I'm considering that honestly.
It's really fun. It was really fun. I had like one account at like 100% win rate with like 7 games on Scion. And everybody's like, wow, your Scion game is so on point. I'm like, really, I did nothing this game. I just farmed.
you just
took
did
turrets down.
you just did the like basic Scion things, and it's
Yeah, and
it's
then,
so
then
good.
one team fight happens and you just ult well once and you just
Yeah, I mean
like,
his
what the
skill
hell?
shot's not really a skill. I mean, it's his axe. Like, are they leaving the line? Okay, then let
Yeah.
it go early. Like that's
like,
it.
there are some tricks that you can do, obviously, like
Yeah.
how to what to max and like, but these things come so naturally. What makes Scion really OP? It's not just his passive, his whatever, right? It's his W passive. I don't know if you guys know. Every
The,
Oh, yeah,
stacking
stacking
up.
max HP, max HP,
Yes,
max HP.
yeah, his max HP just stacks like crazy. Because obviously, you
They
guys
buffed
know
it recently.
overgrowth. Overgrowth also gives you max HP,
Yeah.
right? So if you put overgrowth on him and then you have conditioning on him, so he's scaling with stacked armor.
Gargoyle Stone Plate in the team fight's pretty
and
massive
then
too.
you get, oh my god, every minion that dies around you gives you another additional 4 HP for his W. And then Cannon gives like, I think 6 or I don't know, like 10 or I don't really know. But yeah, and it just becomes this monster that nobody can kill. And then eventually you kill and he comes back to life like Jesus and he just fucking kills everything. Like, I don't, like that champ is really stupid.
So I don't know if this is still how it is, but I remember like when I first picked up Scion, the reworked Scion, I read like a guide on this. It's just a little tip. You guys may or may not know this. If his E that shoots minions at people, if you hit them directly with it, it lowers their armor. So like a big thing that I read in this guide, this was years ago, is like the time that you want to go in is if you land an E directly on them, not like with a minion hit, but if you land an E directly on them and then go in, they're gonna have way less armor and your combo will just do a shit ton of damage. It's just like a little pro tip I wanted to bring up. And number two, another thing I wanted to bring up that's kind of unrelated is just in general conditioning the rune. If you take Aftershock, you should highly consider taking conditioning because that 5% increase to armor and MR applies to the Aftershock. So it basically just makes Aftershock 5% better.
Do people run Aftershock Scion? Because I thought about it, but I don't see anyone ever running it. I mean, you land your Q at procs.
Right now, the glacial thing is the glacial augment thing is the thing.
Grasp looks pretty good too, because that also stacks health.
Yeah, Grasp is good too. Grasp is good too. But I'm just talking about Aftershock in general. It's kind of like an unrelated thing. I just wanted to bring up. If you take Aftershock on anyone, conditioning, you should highly consider taking conditioning.
Oh yeah, like Blitzcrank. Yeah, I tried that once. That was interesting. Yeah, I mean, so what was I saying about Malphite? Okay, so Malphite is really OP, but one thing, here's a pro tip for everybody. I actually have a really, really, really good win rate with Malphite. Not on my main account, but because I was like trying new shit on it. One thing you can actually do is after you build. Has anybody here played Malphite before? It's a boring as fuck.
I used to main Malphite. I mean, I still play him when I don't get Trin. He's a really good counter to Trin.
My brother was high D1 before Masters existed with just being a Malphite one trick. And so I've learned a lot from him and I played it a lot.
So Malphite right now, there's one item that just like overscales AP, and it's called Luden's Echo. Right? Everybody should, if you're a League of Legends player, you should know how OP Luden's Echo is on mostly every AP champ, right? Malphite actually, people joke about AP Malphite that it can delete everything, right? The first item you build on him is supposed to be Luden's Echo. So if you're going against an AD top laner, like Camille or Aurelia or Fiora or Riven or anything, you want to build that Glacial Shroud. Glacial Shroud, the, what do you call it? The the
900 gold, mana, armor, 10% CDR. It's a very effective item.
It's really great because of the CDR, and plus, you get mana that he needs, right? After you build that, whatever you build, like boots, and then a lot of people go for like Ruby Crystal and blah blah blah, right? I always, after I get partial cores, I always go Luden's Echo first, and it's been working out every game because once you get Luden's Echo, your E clears minion wave with one E, all of it, right? So your clear is insanely good. When you ult E and Q on ADC, they die, right? If you do that with if you go full tank Malphite and you just ult E, your objective is just CCing, right? And if people don't follow up, it tilts the shit out of you. But if you play just one item core and then full tank Malphite, you will be the damager, you will be the carry, you'll be the peel and the tank at the same time. You'll do everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Nubrak does with the Mumu, just like we were talking about. Where
exactly.
You go in and you get this nasty ultimate, but then if your team isn't playing around it, you feel real bad. But then, like you said, if you have the damage yourself, then you're already set.
Yeah, it's just laning phase that's just really, really ass. But think about it like this: don't farm. You don't have to farm. Farming, don't die for CS. Don't trade health for CS. Just tower farm. And just ping your jungle like crazy when you think the tower dive is going to happen. Because obviously your wave is going to collect and it's going to look obvious. And just do that. I think it's such a busted champion. I feel like... Because I played a game with Cutie Pie with Malphite. Because another Teemo main sniped my stream. Took my Teemo. A friend of mine. Yeah. So he took my Teemo and I was like, all right. But I have Cutie Pie on my team. I want to play that game out just for advertising my stream, right? Of course.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I have Cutie Pie. I'll play Malphite. I counterpicked myself into Teemo with Malphite, right? Early game. And then I literally was losing about 40 to 50 CS early game. And I just didn't do anything except just stay around the turret and stay around the EXP, right? And I think I gave out first turret as well. And I just, every time QD ganked me, because he was playing Nocturne, and we just kept going in together and we just kept killing the Teemo. And then he had, what, 80 CS on me or 100
That's
CS?
my pocket pick for Teemo is Malphite and just fucking Comet spam.
Yeah, because the Comet spam, right? But it was so easy after that. Because CS, who cares about CS if you just ult like crazy?
Yeah, because Malphite is a very good low econ champion.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to have 10 CS per minute to be useful. He needs 2 CS per minute.
2 CS per minute. Jesus. Same as Mundo, by the way. Mundo is also another stupid champ you can learn just to climb.
This is off topic, but Greg, are you gonna start streaming again soon? I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, I haven't seen him stream. I haven't seen you stream in a...
Just some. I was talking about this a little earlier. Just some real life stuff happened.
Oh no, I understand. I don't know the context and everything. You don't have to get into anything. I was just wondering if you plan on starting anytime soon.
I do want to come back to it as soon as possible, but it would not be like before where I was doing like
full time
20-hour streams.
Oh,
every
I
day.
see. Okay.
It would be like, well, I guess my ideal situation is I would want to do like one to two times a week and have it be more of a, I don't know. I might not even play League.
Just more variety stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
You don't have the personality for League. You have the personality for every other fucking game to be fun.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, you're not bitter enough for League.
No, I would
for this world.
I would love to do something like what we're doing now, like a podcast or something once a week or something, or something I've also been thinking about that would be cool is, I did the rap with Yasupodcast earlier. Doing something like that with other streamers could be a lot of fun. Where I do I make the beat, whatever, and then I bring on streamers, that I know that I'm friends with, and we all just hang out and like do cringe rapping or something like once a week.
That polio stick line was pretty.
That was so good, dude. The polio pogo stick, that was so good. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It also depends on what happens with a bunch of other things going on in my life right now. So we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, I do miss it, and I miss everyone, and I'm trying my best to get back to some kind of schedule.
I took
almost 2-year
break.
To know your stream through one of my mods, Lumi. Yeah, I don't know if you know Lumi. Do you remember Lumi?
Wait, is it Lumi 123 or? Yeah. Of course.
So he's one of my mods, and he's one of my top top bits as well. Very generous man. So now he recommended that I host you once, and I got to know your stream. And this is back when I wasn't even partnered. I think I was like a small streamer. Like a small time, like 10 viewer, maybe 5 viewer streamer. And I was like, oh, this guy's really chill. He's really happy about playing League. I'm like, how's this possible?
It's GragAlbert, dude. It's GragAlbert. I'm always GragAlbert is so fun. I'm just a fat. Just think I'm a fat dude drinking lots of beer, throwing kegs at people. How do you not have fun doing that? Oh, so good.
Jeez. Oh,
I'm just getting into my character too, just being fucking ragey all the time.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Right. What is Teemo? Teemo is. Anyways, here's a question for both of you guys, Vondil and Yasubro.
Okay.
So you guys are both Tryndamere mains, right? And you guys are friends, obviously, right? Is there like rivalry between you two, like ranks wise?
Well, it's dead now because he already got masters before me.
Oh, is that what it was? Was it a race to masters?
I already lost a race. I mean, it was like an unofficial race, I guess.
Don't worry.
But I suck.
It's not over until the season's over.
That's true.
The higher rank.
Higher rank at the end of the season.
Who cares about peaks? We're talking about.
I ended last season higher than he did, so I guess I got that going for me.
I mean, that's irrelevant. I was never like super try. I had so many things blocking me from really ever getting into actual.
I mean, I let you get masters. I paid people to let you in.
Okay. Just like you paid somebody to troll me earlier today.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he got a surprise in his bank account. It can't be all fucking good times, man. I
Yeah,
gotta bring you down
but no,
too.
I'm like consistently a higher rank than Vondel. He'll occasionally be higher than me, but like
whoa.
There wasn't beef before, but now that you've asked this question, it's starting.
Yeah.
Slow
You
down.
guys have to know I'm a devious Teemo main.
Who's
But-
higher
but-
rank right now? Just curious.
who is
I don't know what your rank is. I don't have my
Who's,
link lineup.
Just
I'm gonna open up both of you guys. I wanna
just
see.
for the record, my main is
Which-
higher than Diamond 3. Okay.
What's your highest account? Vondel or
Well,
Corella Vondel?
It's Corella Bondo, right?
Yeah, you're higher
Well,
than me right
no,
now.
my main has MMR of like Diamond 1.
Oh,
It's
okay,
just-
I'm not talking about MMR.
I
Let's
just
look at
can't-
LP. Let's just look at LP.
Yeah,
But-
you're higher
But
than
the
me right now.
MMR is what matters, though. It's
See,
not
that's,
fair.
That's
I
the
don't
whole
get credit.
like,
It's
that's the
'cause-
KR server logic, but it's not like it's true and it's not like because if you win,
No, it is.
Okay, here's the thing.
Okay,
if you win, a few in a
Trin
row-
was permabanned like a few patches ago, and that account has not recovered. Like I went on a crazy win streak on that account while
Well, you
Trin
guys
was
are
getting
both-
permabanned.
But you guys are both Diamond 3 right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
that
no,
account is
I'm
like
at, I'm
Diamond
at like
1.
I'm at my like lowest
I only lose 8
possible rank
LP a
right now.
loss on that account.
This is like the lowest that I'll get, and like
Yeah,
I'll get back.
I've
I'll get
seen
back
you
soon.
slow, like in a while.
I feel bad in Diamond 3. I'd rather be Heartstuck Diamond 2, obviously, but Diamond 3 is I don't know. I remember feeling bad about Diamond 4 and Diamond 5. But
Yeah, I mean,
I
also
can't even
did,
imagine myself going there at this point and just being stuck there.
I did also
This is
I did
terrible
also
about
play
Diamond
I did also play Nunu mid today, so I'm not like particularly super try-harding right now.
You tried to dodge. You
Yeah,
just,
the
you
dude
got
in my
unlucky.
champ select that I dodged for you because I was at 95 LP and this guy was it's
Alright, take a look at my Morgana win rate on my main right now,
yeah
Oh,
fuck Morgana.
that's clean. That's clean.
and look at my Heimer. I picked up Heimer this season.
You know, Heimer is also
Heimer's
really
strong,
good.
yeah.
Too.
Heimer is really no, that's only playing ADC Heimer too. ADC Heimer.
Yeah.
No joke. Like literally.
Yeah,
ADC.
yeah.
Like that champ is so stupid. I realized you just have constant, like I said, like freezing does not matter shit right now. It's all about pushing and helping your jungle, right? So I just play that entire like just nothing else but. But look at I hyped up Malphite so much and look at that win rate.
Right. Right.
Good.
Oh jeez.
No, but I
Yeah.
was in champs like just now with a dude, and he like spam linked your link, your stream, Yasu bro, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Yo, fuck this guy, I hate him, ban his Tryndamere right now. You know, he inted me 3 games in a row. He just played Nunu mid, and I was like, dude, what the fuck is your problem? You're an asshole. I'm dodging, and I just dodged because I was at 95 LP anyway. So
You were just telling
he banned
me.
he banned
oh my
Trend
God.
on my team after I hovered it. So I don't negotiate with terrorists. So I'm going to pick Nunu mid. I will try in the game, but I will pick Nunu mid.
there you
I
go.
feel like I get shit on. I get way more shit than you do, though, Yasu, bro. Like in terms
No,
of target
100%,
bans and
100%.
trolls.
For
I really don't. I feel
But
like
also
I'm,
you
I'm-
like
I sound like a
let the-
conspiracy crazy guy, but I feel like
No, 100%, but you
I
also
let it get
let-
to me more.
Yeah, you
But
let it
Von-
get.
I think it's like this. Yasuo bro doesn't take it seriously. Like he doesn't take it like to the heart. Like when somebody like flames him about playing Tryndamere. Like Vondel, like if somebody like keeps flaming him, he gets really tilted about it. I think.
Yeah, I do.
And that's
I'm trying to,
and
like-
people and these like trolls or whatever. They like the reaction they get when you get salty,
Yeah.
and they love it. And they're like, "Oh man, we're gonna make this guy like really hate life right now." And my friend, sadly, is one of them. And he actually like snipes you and like takes your Tryndamere or like legit bans it all the time, just to see your reaction on it.
He's
like,
a Teemo player.
No, he's not a Teemo player. He's a Vladimir one trick. Funny
I have no idea who that guy is. See, this is what I'm saying. Like,
enough.
there are
You wouldn't
people-
play with him because he would always ban your.
Well, there are people that hate me that I have no idea they even exist.
They don't,
Like,
they don't
there's a-
hate you. They
There's
just love the reaction that you get.
okay. Well, there's a committee of people out there to fuck me over that I don't know exist.
I didn't know your stream until he said it. You know what I mean? He told me about your
Dude,
stream.
I had this guy following my stream, sitting in my chat for a week, just trying to
Oh, I have one
constantly
for
snipe
five-
me
I've had
to
one for
troll, to
5
int
months.
me and troll me.
I've had one for 5 months. I
Yeah.
had a group of 3 guys, 2 brothers and his friend apparently, stalk me and harass me for about 5 months on multiple Twitch accounts.
Yeah.
That happens. I mean, this is not a joke.
Well, the
Like,
thing is, like,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm not even. Look, I like. I ran into like one person on solo queue, and I didn't even say anything to them, and they're just like, they just start, flaming or whatever. We lost, and I'm like, dude, just chill. Can't I just lose in peace? Like, I know I don't always play the best, but Jesus, I don't know, man. But I do the same thing to other people sometimes. I try not to though.
Yeah, no,
I think
like
it
I
doesn't
usually
matter
just
who
like
you
rant
were.
to myself, just out loud to my team, and that pisses people off. I'm like, oh god, Grat's on the better team.
yeah,
The
no,
top laner, or shit like that.
generally I'm just like trying to like sort of like troll them a little bit. Like mid trend is so bad, and then I'll just link me hitting masters with it, and then I'll be like looking at their OPGG. Yo, you've never even hit D2 in your life, and you're saying that mid trend is bad as like a sort of a
Defense
way
kind of.
way to troll them. But like I'm just finding less and less value in it, so I think I'm just gonna stop like giving any kind of credence to these kind of things and just sort of let them flame me if they want, because why would I really kind of care about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, like I've realized that this season because I got like, really really flamed or like trolled a lot, and I was like, you know what these guys say, if I don't let it bother me, it's not gonna bother me at this point. And I just kind of there's like different ways to deal with it. Like if somebody says you're bad, I'm like, yeah, I'm bad, but you're even worse, sadly. And that's saying something terrible at this game. You know what I mean? You can
yeah,
make
yeah.
a joke.
Yeah,
Like, you can-
that's a
But
thing.
even that like doesn't feel worth it. It doesn't even feel worth like acknowledging anymore. Like it never is, but
yeah, it never was, but
it's hard to ignore sometimes. But I'm just gonna like stop using chat at all when it comes to shit like that. Just gonna say stuff that needs to be said.
I
Not flame
have something
anymore.
called a permaban on my system. If I insta ban, if somebody like talks shit, I'm like, all right, bye. Just ban, and like you can
Yeah,
just
yeah,
do
no,
it.
I need to start doing that more, because like I like having the idea of
Drama.
having a more, or like in my like Twitch chat, having it to where I just don't ban people unless they're like breaking the TOS, because I just like that kind of
You're really nice. Like I have about 200 ban chats at least a month. Like it's because I don't know if you guys. Do you guys link your stream after you guys are done?
I used to. I don't anymore.
I only do it when I do really really poorly in game. Like if I go like 1 in 10,
Wow.
That's
then
the worst
that's when I'll
time to
link
do
it.
it,
Worst
though.
time to
That's
do it. That's how
literally
you're
the
gonna
worst
troll.
time to do it.
But
That's
that's like
That's when you get people sniping and target banning and trolling you in the next game.
but it just creates the most salt, and it creates the most content.
But you're like those are the games where you're
But,
least likely
like,
to pick
that's
up
how we
any
get all the
followers,
haters.
and you're only gonna get trolls. Like the games where you pop off are good because sometimes they'll check out your stream if like, oh, this guy carried me this game, I'll check him out. I've gotten lots of really loyal, like longtime followers from solo queue. I mean, that's how I met Karen, I'm pretty sure. And like Afflictive, and there's been a lot of people. Probably fucking Weedwick at some point.
Like this is how I do it because I used to because I don't know how long you guys have been streaming, but I've only been streaming for like a year, right? A little bit over a year, right? And I kind of because I already had a career as an actor, so I was like, man, do I really want to start this new thing without any vision, any kind of thought? So my calculation was this: every time I play a game, I get to plug my stream to 9 people, right? That's 9 viewers, 9 potential viewers, right? If I get into a champ select, and if I put my stream down at champ select, not even at the end of the game, if I put my stream down at champ select and then dodge and go on a different account and then play the next game and then do it at the champ select again, I start out with like 13 viewers or 14 viewers. So that's how I actually increased my stream and I got partnered on Twitch. Like that's how I kept plugging. I plug before stream, during before game and champ select, and I plug my stream during game when I destroy somebody in lane, and then I plug this after I finish the game as well.
I never plugged before champ or during champ select because I've always felt like if somebody dodges, then that's like you're begging for a ban, a target ban.
And that happens a lot. But I have so many. I have like 20 plus accounts. So it's like,
maybe I should just spam the fuck out of my stream.
and it's called
champ select
advertisement, right?
infos.
It's free, and like League of Legends is one of the unique games that you can actually.
It's true.
advertise.
But for every like troll, like if you can get one loyal viewer, it's probably worth it.
one
in my
loyal
opinion.
viewer and
Yeah,
one.
no, I have quite a few viewers who were there from when I still plugged my stream.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
And they were just like, fuck
They
this
saw you
guy,
watch
and then they were
people.
like, oh yeah, this guy's pretty cool.
Yeah, and like Like that one viewer sometimes becomes a sub.
You can win people over just from your taste in music, just in like champ select, you know. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I like this guy. Oh my god, this guy likes the Chrono Cross OST. Damn, he's not so bad after all. Maybe
Yeah.
I should stop hating this guy. We can relate on some sort of level.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't know. It's not obviously there's so many bad things that can go wrong with it though. Sometimes they'll ban your champion. They'll legit, like banning your champion is pretty big. The other thing is that they'll troll your game on purpose to see your reaction and stuff. And like you'll lose a lot of fucking ranked games. I've lost so many games in like gold and plat and silver, because people intentionally throw games just so that they want to see my reaction.
I think those are the better places to post your link though, because you don't get as many. There's not as much overlap from game to game with the players that you see.
Oh yeah,
no, I'll always plug when I'm smurfing.
Definitely.
And here's the thing: like, somebody, let's say, if you plug your stream in, let's say, a diamond game. This was my math. It's one of the reasons why people always ask me, "Why do you smurf so much?" I'm like, that's why. That's the best place to advertise your stream, because if you're a diamond player, let's say you're like a D3, D2 player, right? And you're playing a game in D3, D2, you plug your stream, none of them are going to give a shit. They want to go into the next queue. They want to play the game. They want to rank up, right? If you play in, let's say, silver, and you plug your stream, they're like, oh my god, he's a diamond player? I want to check this guy out. They'll all give a shit, and they'll actually watch your stream. I've done the ratio. I've experimented both ways. I've played on my main account and, like, put my stream down. I would have about, 1 or 2 viewer increase while I'm actually streaming. Whereas if I'm in a silver or gold account and I put my stream down, I get like 9 viewer or 10 viewer increase. Like sometimes even like silver and gold players are like friends with other silver and gold players. If they like your stream, like they'll bring their friends over to the stream.
Yeah, no.
Also, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was in queue and now I'm in a game, so I'm ducking out, guys. I love you guys.
All right, later, man.
See you later. Peace out.
Okay, peace out. Okay, so yeah, like how I got the like a part of how I got the Yasuo host, because I got like a really fat like 8,000 viewer Yasuo host, was because his friends would always watch my stream, who was a Trin One Trick, and he was like there with them, so I knew him through there. So like having people sort of like tell their friends about you is definitely a very a big a big thing, especially for like because like lower, like people at your level aren't gonna idolize you because they're at your same level, but they'll totally.
They will only idolize you if you have a lot of viewers. You know what I mean? If you have like 200 or 300 viewers, and they'll be like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
man,
that's
the same rank as me.
That's the status symbol.
Right. But like rank becomes like a trophy when it comes to if you're silver gold player. If there's a diamond 3 player playing with you or a diamond 2 player playing with you, they're like, holy shit, who is this guy, right? They want to check you out. They want to be your best friend, right? Maybe this guy will have a Smurf account to help me out. Who knows? Like, you never know, right? So I feel like that was pretty fun. Is that the TOS that you were talking about?
Yeah, dude, honestly, like there are so many players that I know would get shit on so hard and trolled so hard if they weren't like successful streamers. Like it's just ridiculous how some players will get along with others simply because, you know, their view count.
Yeah, and I sometimes like I don't know, my stream's been popping lately, and I've sometimes I get like 100 plus viewers, and I've been like, I'm just doing my thing. Obviously, I'm just doing the same thing over and over, right? But like when it pops, I get no trolls. I get legit like nobody wants to fuck with you, and like some guys are like, oh my god, you have 100 viewers, holy shit, poggers, I'm the famous streamer, I'll try my best. They're so nice to you, and then when you barely have 20, maybe 30 viewers, they'll be like, dead stream, blah blah blah, you're never gonna make it. But there's gonna be a lot of fucking bullshit, right? Like that's just, I think you gotta learn to live with it, especially because like guys who are big right now, a lot of them, not all of them, but like a lot of them, were either pro players or they got in when the Twitch was like really young. Like Twitch.
Yeah, it's about being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. So they got not lucky, but like obviously they had the right card calculations to start something before us, right? So
well, look, if yeah, go on.
No. Yeah, I mean that's just what it is. It's just like if you I feel like we just gotta push on through with those things.
I mean, imagine all the people who have invested in like the really good, let's say Realm Royale. That's not really taking off, right? All the people
It
who got
completely
really
died. It completely died.
let's say all the people who got really fucking invested, or some new kids like, here's some new game you got. It's Realm Royale. Oh my god, I love this. And he invests all his time, just like, you know, maybe when you were a kid, you invested all your time in whatever favorite game you had.
Right.
He's he's just in the wrong place. Imagine if instead of Realm, and he became really good. Let's see, he's the #1 Realm Royale player there is, but there's no real audience for it anymore. It's just not a, you know, it's not, the game itself isn't popping off like others.
Yeah.
But if you had that same mentality, that same kid, and you introduced him to League when it was in its infancy, well, that kid could be the next fucking esports star or whatever, you know, big ol' I'm a cutie pie. You know what I'm saying? Like it really, exactly. It depends on where it, you know, being in the right place at the right time definitely helps.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of thing.
Another fun thing I think to mention is a Fortnite. I mean, it's still going on, right? But it's only going on in NA, nowhere else. It's a dead game everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, you look at the top
another
Fortnite
thing,
streams, you get rid of a few top streamers, and then the game
there's
is
nobody.
considered dead, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all it takes is a few of the top streamers to switch to the new COD game or whatever next.
Yeah. I think that like,
you know,
like the fact that there are no real AAA battle royales, and it's just the fact that Fortnite was the first moderately polished battle royale to come out, and it was also free to play, which is why it got so big. But like having
but here's the thing, it seems really big here, right? But like even in, like, let's say in Korea, they don't even consider that a game. Like nobody plays it.
Yeah.
The same thing. Like they all play the first battle royale game, which was PUBG, right? Like they all play PUBG only. So it's like, I don't know. I since I'm in NA, I always hear about Fortnite this, Fortnite that, Fortnite Pro, Fortnite like ranker, whatever. But like, does it? Like, is it gonna survive? I'm not even sure. Like,
yeah, I don't think it's gonna survive. Like,
there are
the pressure of having actual battle royale games made by competent developers. Like, I played the COD battle royale, and based on everything I've heard from anybody, like Shroud, Summit, Dr. Disrespect, all of these players who are like really big into battle royales, they all fucking love the game, and they're all like actually excited that there's a real battle royale out there. And if those big streamers go over to that, and COD is already something that's really popular in the casual NA market, like Fortnite will just fucking die.
It should do some kind of free to play model though, if they want to really like
we mentioned earlier about the esports thing. Fortnite hasn't really released a good esports community, or like every esports, because that's like timing too. You gotta have the really good timing for that. Like
their own tournaments get bugged out, right?
Like PUBG have such a good like pro scene, right? Like it's just, their pro scene is so well developed, and it was on the right timing when it was popular, when people were mentioning about it. They separated amateur play from pro play, because if amateurs look like pros or pros look like amateurs, it's never a good thing. That's why League of Legends has that separation with solo rank and team game, right? Like it's always a bad thing when people think, oh, I can play like this pro. I don't, like, why would I want to watch this guy? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't fit.
I think a lot of the
the way Fortnite tournaments are done is that all of the players queue up, or like scrims. The way the way scrims are done is that all of the players queue up at the same time and hope that there's enough players like in the game, and then they're just pub stomping.
And it also has to do with lack of coding, because it is a copy game, right? It is a copy game of PUBG. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like, if you copy, because it copied really fast and really, like, just really basic coding, right? Like none of the vehicle explosions or anything like that. Just basic coding on making it entertaining and animated, polished, right? So with basic coding, what you're gonna have is, one, if somebody hacks in this game, like if somebody uses aim hack or any kind of, like, it's so easy to hack into if you have good coding, right? Like if you have if you have like really simple codings, same as let's say the new COD, that took a long time to come out. You know what I mean? Since PUBG was out and since Battle Royale genre has been popular, it's been over a year. And they took their time to develop this shit, which means it's going to have good coding. It's going to have like really complicated coding. So that's not going to be not just easily emulated, but like they're going to definitely have like good pro scene, and I don't know. I'm actually excited about it too. I don't know if I'm gonna actually buy it, but
By which one?
COD.
Oh yeah, COD. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like it feels really like fucking good to play. But the problem with like COD is that it's like yearly release, but also like the studio that's making this specific COD is generally really good at supporting their game past a year. Like Black Ops 3 had new content for like 2 years. And so they do plan on supporting it past a year, but like having yearly releases makes it not as viable of a
like an esport
a perpetual esport, like something like a PUBG or a League or a CS:GO.
Is PUBG though really like
in Korea? It is
esport. Like
PUBG is huge. Like it is there. If you watch the PGI, the PUBG Invitational, international is insanely huge.
It's just not huge in NA because
I see
Fortnite.
Yeah, and also because people like it when they root for their their streamer. You know what I mean? Like if you watch LCS, like Cutie Pie comes on LCS, like Delta Fox. You know, like they'll see like Viper in it. They'll recognize their players in pro scenes, right? In PUBG, all the NA streamers, like Ninja or Shroud, Dr. Disrespect, these guys are considered, to the eyes of the viewers, like the best player, the gods, right? But they realistically they kind of suck at the game, right? Compared to actual pros. Like huge skill difference. So like yeah, that's why NA doesn't like watching this shit. But Koreans only watch pros. Like all the top streamers for PUBG in Korea are all pro players. So it obviously will have a good pro scene. Like, I mean, even Shroud and stuff, I mean, they're good, but they're not that, like, even I can play better, as good as them, like, no problem. Like, I don't see what the fuss is about. It's just
I think about NA streaming is that it's much more based on personality and community. Like, because there is in the West, there is a huge lack of, like, feeling of community, and that's something that's just generally, pretty inherent in humans to want a feeling of community, and streaming sort of takes that as a way of getting into a community with people.
And the funniest thing is, like, it's kind of like this. You know how like let's say Dr. Disrespect has this personality of saying he's the best, he's always the best, he's the best, I'm the best, right? He always says that, and like he goes into a tournament and he got disqualified first, I think, or second, second to just die right away, right? And so everybody's like, wasn't he the best? You know what I mean? Like it just becomes, why would you want to root for that streamer if he's the main streamer that you were rooting for to win this tournament, and he gets disqualified at second, like right away? It's just like you don't want to keep watching that tournament. Not really, right? Like you don't want to support that tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because that's just the issues with NA perpetuating the esports scene around that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think one thing I really want happening this year, and like I'm kind of double-sided about it. So as a League of Legends streamer, mostly, I want League of Legends to succeed more, right? I want it to stay on top, right? You guys probably do as well, right? Because that's your game. That's our
to an extent, honestly. I feel like even if League were to die, and you think, oh well, everyone's abandoning League, I should leave League, I should join another game. Like everyone's making the jump. Maybe like, I don't know, fucking Warcraft 4 comes out, and then everyone's like, oh my god, this is the new game. Like everyone wants to play it. But then at the same time, you may have been a small fish in a big pond before, but now you're a small fish in a slightly smaller pond. So you might actually work out for you. If League is a dead game and all the pros and all the LCS players stop playing, who's gonna be the number one streamers on League?
Us.
No. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll have to be. No, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'm not really sure how that will work out. I mean, it hasn't really happened, but I think it's an interesting thought, like how it would affect the other streamers.
But like, you don't want it to die out fully, like, because
no, exactly, yeah, you don't want it to be completely dead.
For for us, it's like better if it's thriving. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, no,
so
100%.
there's more people.
I think that
It's
like
definitely
the
always better if it's thriving. I think.
Yeah, and so for an esports or any kind of game to thrive, you know what needs to happen, right? NA or EUW has to win, and no, any team but Korean team has to win the Worlds. You guys understand that, right? Like that's what happened in StarCraft, where StarCraft was dead. It was just, I mean, still kind of.
They
dead.
mismanaged the leagues too. Like what ended up coming. If Riot didn't incorporate that like export rule, then our whole NA scene would be nothing but Korean players. It would be nothing but Korean players. There'd be no homebrew talent at all, and then people would stop watching.
There's
NA players would stop watching.
like an NA player got like won a premier tournament in StarCraft in Korea. So in
Scarlet?
history, there's never been a single.
Was it Scarlet? Or was
Scarlet?
it like...
Yeah, Scarlet was the big one, but before that,
was it Stefano?
No, it was fuck, what's his name? Like I say, Lil Bo. Oh fuck.
I don't know. Was this recent? Was this before StarCraft? Like League overtook StarCraft? After League overtook StarCraft? Because
because there's this one player
because
who,
before
like,
League took
recently
overtook StarCraft.
Like, so there was this one dude who just actually won a premier tournament, and everybody was like, "Holy shit, this guy's fucking crazy! This guy's insane, right? Like he's gonna win the Worlds." Obviously, he did not, but like it creates such a big hype around, you know, like
yeah.
I love how he serves StarCraft foreigner wins.
I used to be heavily into the StarCraft scene until League
Season
2.
I used to play like Heart of the Swarm, like
yeah.
I got the Masters and during Heart of the Storm.
I quit during Heart of the Storm. Like I played the single player and I was done with it pretty much. But yeah, I remember when that game was just filling up, you know, MLG, not stadiums, but like people were like, "Oh my God, StarCraft! Let's all watch StarCraft!" And it was also great. And I loved the culture behind it. It was like,
it was beautiful.
Esports is becoming a thing. This is like its first steps, you know, towards more of a mainstream thing. And eventually, League just surpassed it, and you know, StarCraft was in the decline. And I feel like we're at a different time now where there's not one major game now. It's like everyone has different tastes, and there's a lot more people involved these days. League, by years standards, is still very popular. I mean, lots of people play it. It's still greatly popular, you know, but it's not the number one thing and will not stay number one. You know what I mean?
I think that's only in NA. Like in the world overall, League is still going to be the biggest game in the world for. But
what I'm saying is it's not taking in more than it's losing at this point. Like
at least 10 years. I think 10 years, League is still going to be like big.
It'll still be there, but it will be like bottom of the list, you know.
No, I think in the world it is going to be at least for a decade the number one game.
But you know what's the funniest thing?
No chance.
When Overwatch came out, it was the biggest hype on Overwatch. And for the first time ever in like years, like every single like streaming services, Africa TV, Doya TV, Ouya TV, Twitch.tv, every single service, League was dethroned by another game. That was Overwatch, right? Overwatch was so hyped.
Also, PC Bang play rates. Overwatch temporarily took over League as the number one PC Bang played game.
Internet cafes, So that was huge. This never happened in years. Like ever since League took over StarCraft, this has never happened. Now, when that happened, this is like 3 years ago, I believe. Everybody in NA started saying League is gonna die out. League is gonna die out. League is gonna die out for like 2 years. And then Overwatch fucked up their they didn't control hackers, they didn't control the scripting, like they didn't do any, like they fucked up, right? Their pro matches, it was like some of them were rigged and was like really fucked, right? And they got caught rigging. And so all this shit happened and Overwatch died, like fucking died, right? And League kind of lost a lot of that glimmer because like H1Z1, PUBG, Fortnite, these games started happening. And then everybody's like, yeah, League might die out. Who knows? I think it's going to die out. And then Riot introduces the whole new ruin system.
Yeah.
It's the biggest change that like League of Legends has ever had. And then after that, they realized, okay, let's stay with the time. Let's like fuck up the game a lot. So it'll create drama. It'll create a lot of suspense. Let's keep getting different modes in. They're getting Odyssey. They're doing this. I mean, it's going to keep relevant. And obviously, when they like money creates money, right? So they know Riot has so much money that they can just keep throwing money at the problem and solve. It's like a band-aid solution. Though.
Yeah,
Like,
it's very similar to the whole WoW killer mentality. Like everyone's like, "Oh, this is gonna be the next WoW killer. This is gonna be the next WoW killer," and in the end, they never are. But it's saying a lot that the people, honestly, I think when people are saying, Overwatch is gonna kill League, whatever the next game is, Fortnite's killing League, they want it's the general audience wanting to move on. League is an old game. People want to move on to the next big thing. They want the next League of Legends, like what League was to StarCraft when it come about. People want that. I personally want that. I would love another game to rise to the top that I love and I would love to play and all that. But the problem is the games that do come up and people are overhyping them because they want to move on, but at the same time, the games end up not living up to the expectations, or they just don't end up, surpassing League in those aspects. And that's why we end up in the situation where like Overwatch surpassed League, but then it quickly crashed. You get a lot of artificial popularity, especially through these big companies nowadays that promote these all these games through super popular streamers, and you get all these super high artificial all these bubbles of popularity with all of these different games that people want to like kind of see the appeal of and move on to. And then like you have like a lot of major streamers just playing these games and then they get bored of them, and then next thing you know those games are dead, like Realm Royale for example. Or just look at Fortnite right now, it's the top, right? But imagine if Ninja stops playing tomorrow and just moves on to the COD game or something, then what happens to Fortnite? Like it loses literally half its audience.
Stop talking. I need to my Bluetooth headset is dying, so I need to switch headsets and it'll people can't hear you. Okay, hello?
Wait, could no one hear me when I said all that?
No, we're good. You everything that you said was on everything you said was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was pretty much wrapping up my point, but there's. I'm just saying there's a lot of artificial popularity. There's a lot of bubbles of popularity with
your like I agree with you. There's the artificial. Okay, so that was my worry at first because I was like, okay, League will eventually die at this point because any artificial popularity that you create will have a negative impact and it's gonna like burst at the end of the day, right? But one thing I've actually started to notice, earlier this season, I figured I was making new accounts like I always do. But when I first start a season, I make 3 new accounts in League, or maybe more. This time I made about 5. And I do like unranked to diamond kind of streams and unranked to whatever stream, like you know those kind of like leveling up to level 30 with your viewers, and then you do your rank solo games, and then you rank up, and people see how you rank up and how you build and how you do this and how you keep your mentality through shitty games. And it's like a really adventure between you and the viewers, and people love that shit because it's like what 20 days to 40 days of just it's like RPG climb, right? And people like that, and I figured if I do that, then I get to know what's going on in lower elo as well, like just not just high elo, right? And to see what people are doing. Now, when I was looking at this, I was thinking, wow, I see so many fucking Smurfs. Like I'm playing on the silver and gold like elo, and every game I play, there's at least 1 or 2 Smurfs, and I'm obviously Smurfing too, but not just me. I'm seeing like 1, 2 Smurfs, like including me. So I mean, not including, excluding me. So I was like, okay. Why is League dying? Is League dying because it means there's not enough new players coming in, right? Because there's that many Smurfs in a certain elo or like certain games, and I was realizing this. And when the bubble they created, like scuttle changes happened, this big changes happened. Everybody was like talking about League again. It was being hyped again. Guys who were watching me on my PUBG streams or my Overwatch streams started watching me for League, and they're like, hey, I want to try League of Legends. All my friends are playing it. And these guys are like 11-year-old to 15-year-old kids, like who's playing other games. Like they were, what's popular is Fortnite, so they all play Fortnite. But now they're like, oh, look, what is this League of Legends? I mean, I've always heard about it. I've never played this before. Let's try it. So all these new players are playing. I'm like thinking, maybe the bubble is not it's not really a bad thing because it's creating new viewers.
It's creating controversy.
That's an interesting point, though. If people are getting, Fortnite blows up and there's a bunch of normie little kids playing Fortnite or whatever mainstream, you see that fucking we love Fortnite video, right?
Yeah.
What if those kids burn out on Fortnite and then they're like looking for a new game? They might go into League or something.
Yeah, some of them might go into Overwatch. WoW,
it's good. Exactly. They could just go into any of the existing games. Like this whole. That's just like a little nugget of new players just going into just streaming in general.
And they're
and
gonna be
gaming.
terrible at the game, by the way. They're
Yeah.
gonna be like silver gold.
Oh
players.
yeah, but still,
But,
hey
like,
man,
even
maybe
so,
they'll want to watch us. You know,
exactly.
I think the thing with league,
it's a good thing.
I
More players is better.
I think the thing with league growth in general is just that like Riot has gotten so big with league without doing any kind of advertising or any kind of thing to actually try to appeal to players, and that league got to its peak entirely through word of mouth. And so now that their game is sort of slowing down, they're actually trying to do things to entice casual players to get into the game.
Well,
they can do anything.
On the other hand, Riot has done a lot to like, keep League alive and popular. They have made
I think they're starting to do a lot to actually like get into new players. Like League actually has ads now. You can see ads for League now, when that was when League never had ads for the entire history of it existing.
Really well animated with shit ton of money blown out.
Like, there were really high quality ads.
Honestly, they should have been doing that a long time ago. I agree.
But they didn't need to because they were already so big.
But now they definitely
And
they need to maintain their
Bondo and Yasupro, you and I, all three of us, we've played about at least minimum 1,000 games this season, right? And to be honest, I'm kind of burning out on League. I'm like, wow, I don't really want to play League anymore. I felt that like last month. And then I really got hyped up this week when I heard about Iron and Grandmasters.
That hyped me up too. I just want the next season already. I don't even want to play this
is a rank that does not matter to me because I can't even get Masters right now. Like I'm trying for Masters right now, and there's going to be a tier above Grandmasters. That doesn't matter to me.
I mean, you'll be able to hit Masters then.
You'll probably be able to hit Masters, no problem.
So right now, I'm going to work on an account. I've been losing on purpose. Maybe I shouldn't admit that, but there is an account that I've been losing quite a lot on. It's currently silver 5 at 0 LP. It's so hard to get it down to bronze, but I'm going to try to go 0-10 on that next season, and then try to get Iron on this. I don't know if it's actually possible to get Iron from placement.
If you're streaming, don't plan on streaming Iron for it to fucking Masters climb.
No.
Riot doesn't like that.
How fucking hilarious Iron games are. Like I want to know. Like this is like.
No, yeah, I mean like fresh accounts will be Iron at the start. Like you start at the bottom ranks and then you climb up.
Is that what they said? They didn't say that.
I've heard that said.
No,
unless I'm wrong.
Unless I'm wrong. Literally see your MMR as the promo games go on, or the
and it'll start at Iron.
Probably, but it'll make huge jumps. Like, you will never get placed in Iron. None of us three will never legitimately place that low.
There's no like legitimate possible. Okay, so the silver 5 account that I told you guys about. I went one win, 9 losses on my placements. I accidentally won a game. Okay, I accidentally. I can show you guys.
How early was it in the series, in the placements? Because the
that depends too.
Because if it's like early in it, your rank will be better. But if it's later in it, then it won't really.
No, it was later. And I still got silver 5. I was like, how the fuck do you get bronze? I went 1 win, 9 losses on purpose, and like I accidentally won a game because I had 2 Smurfs on my team on the Singe Jungle game. If you guys can see that,
I see.
Like I had 2 Smurfs on that one, so I accidentally won a game. And so, if you go 1 win, 9 losses, and you still get silver 5, how the fuck do you get bronze from placements? Like, how's that even possible? Like, wow.
Yeah. I don't understand.
Wow. I think when you're playing your normals games, it does have like some bit of MMR, so that affects your
because I obviously went through most of my normal games because
if you're going through your normal games to fucking to grind really fast, you're just winning.
Because my normal MMR was like D5 to D4ish.
Yeah, like that affects your placements. Apparently, I didn't know this, but if you want to climb faster on a Smurf account, play the dynamic queue games. Win all those placements, then your MMR for your solo queue games will be even higher. So when you start, you can actually get placed into like Diamond 5 rather than like Plat 3. When you get like, because I went 9-1 on my Smurf account, and I got placed Gold 2, I think, or something. Gold 3. Well, I went 9 wins, 1 loss, and I got placed Gold 3.
So was it unranked last season? It was a fresh account, right?
It was fresh 30.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if it's a fresh 30, I believe the highest you can get is plat 4 if you go 10-0.
Yeah, that makes sense. I got gold 3. 9 wins, 1 loss though. Like the only loss I got was because I didn't dodge and Trend was banned, and I just went Teemo and tried to fucking troll.
Because if
I
you
didn't
have
try to troll, but I
if
just
you have
like
a previous MMR, it'll stay. Like I have an account right now that was season 6 Diamond 1. It's like it ended the season at Diamond 1, and I didn't rank it last season. I didn't even play it on it. So the MMR is still D1 even till this season. MMR stays.
Yo, no, the MMR definitely stays. It doesn't. I
Yeah,
don't think
so-
it decays. Just
Yeah.
Your rank decays and your MMR decays with the rank if you play on it. That's how it is, I think. I don't really exactly understand the system because I kind of have a.
Yeah, no, I mean, Badid was challenger on his account in like season 6, and he just never played on it again. But
Yeah.
he's still like
Challenger.
really high MMR. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
MMR
like
decays in
normalized out.
Challenger, maybe. Right?
I think it's like normalized out a little bit. He's not playing quite against challenger players, but like
at least Masters or D1 players.
Oh,
right?
it still has that soft reset
higher
for the
levels.
new seasons. I would imagine.
Because I mean, obviously, like your MMR, like it's also based on like player base and like because elo rating system is all based on player base as well, and your win rate, your KDA doesn't affect it, I believe.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, your win rate and your where you win it also matters. So like you know how so like to get to the point. Okay, this is one I wanted to talk about. You said how MMR matters more than LP, right? And it's like true and it's not. So what I mean by that is, let's say you are Diamond 2 and you lost a shit ton in a row, right? You're Diamond 2, let's say 10 LP, and you've demoted from D1, right? Which means you've demoted at least 6-7 games in a row. You lost 6 or 7 games in a row, right? So your MMR is going to be in the shitter. You're going to have like D4 players or D5 players in your games, which is going to be shit for you. But at least you can carry that because you're supposedly a D1 player, right? So if you win 1 or 2 games in that elo, your MMR will jump back to D1. It means like because your rank is D1, like your MMR will have a better standing that way. And if you let's say have a high MMR, if you're a D3 player, like you said, and you have a D1 MMR, right? Just because if you win a few, obviously you'll get more LP, but that's about it. You don't really get that many perks out of it. You'll play against better players though.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm saying like if I go 50-50 on my account, I will continue to climb for a while until I hit like at least.
Of course, because you'll get that like if you'll lose, you'll
like,
win.
I'm talking about like I gain 24 LP, 24 to 25 LP in Diamond 3, like high Diamond 3, like, and I lose 8 to 10 LP. So like it's the system is trying to correct it and push me back up. The problem is when I get into like this account, that account was stuck in Diamond 4 playing. I was just playing Masters and Diamond 1 games on it, but I was in Diamond 4, and I can't get past the series because I need to basically win a series against Masters players. Like it makes it really hard because I'm going like 50-50, but I can't go 50-50 and promote. But at the same time, I'm just going series after series, losing series after series, and dodging series after series because whatever reason.
Right.
And but yeah, I got to as soon as I got to Diamond 4 to Diamond 3, it only took like 3 or 4 games to be in another promo series for Diamond 2, and then I got to repeat the same process. But as long as I maintain the same amount of wins over my losses, my MMR will still stay around that area. Like I'm not playing against Diamond 2s, I'm not playing or not Diamond 3s or Diamond 4s or Diamond 5s. So I'm not too worried about it, and I don't really care that my rank is lower. I'm playing against the good players anyways.
Yeah, so you're
and eventually move up is what I'm saying. I'm not.
One thing I don't know if you guys agree with me on this. I feel like every time I play in like let's say like my account's right now at D3, right, with 61% win rate. So win rate's really high. So you sometimes get like D2, D1 players and sometimes Masters players, right? So even no matter what the elo is, if you let's say you're mid diamond to high diamond, I feel like there's like players. I don't know if you guys agree. There are players who do not belong in a certain elo, but they got lucky.
Yeah, they're just peaking. Yeah,
they're just
run into that all the time.
And like I feel like I don't know. The games get determined so often by just how many these lucky players are on your team versus like real legit like D2, D1 players who's been there for like seasons after season.
I had a game just yesterday that was like, I thought it was all Diamond 2 players, but everyone was playing like they're in Diamond 5, and I was Diamond 4, Diamond 5, like the macro was just non-existent. Like there was no vision control, there was no like grouping, nothing. Like it was so weird.
Yeah,
I
it's
hadn't
like
played a game
one thing that
either.
tilts me is
Wow.
like if I think something is a general knowledge, like let's say wording, like a basic fucking wording or like word baits.
Oh,
right?
you ace them with Baron buff. You like all have
Yeah.
Baron buff, and you ace, and then they
Stuff like that.
decide to buy.
Like, you would
Then
think that in Diamond is like general knowledge or even like basic shit, and people fall for it. I'm like, oh god, you know what I mean? Like it's just like, or
Yeah.
people don't do it, and you're like, oh, that tilts me a little bit. Is Yasubro's like, is it okay? Like your speaker?
Yeah. I'm good.
Okay.
I just
Alright.
have nothing to contribute.
what do you guys think about the idea of the new system having separate elos or separate ratings for different positions?
I think it's
'Cause
irrelevant.
I'm pretty against it.
I think it's irrelevant because I'm going to
they
be
doing
masters
that?
anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, like we'll have to wait until
Are
the
they
details
doing
come
that?
out.
I don't think they're gonna do that, are they?
They plan to,
Wait,
definitely.
so there's
I
gonna
don't
be
know, positional based ranking,
Yeah.
and that like I think I like it in the idea that I'm more incentive to play other roles and not because like my
This is really big because will you get a separate rank for?
Yeah.
So let's say you're gold.
Sort of,
let's
yeah.
say you're on a gold 5 account, right? And you play top lane, right? And you get to plat 5. Does that only apply to your top lane then?
Yes. Like that's where they're kind of going at. We don't know the details.
Yeah, there's
of how
like
exactly
a little bit of a splashing in LP. So like
Yeah.
you'll gain 20 on your top and like 10 on your
or
on your
even
other
less
roles.
than that. Yeah.
That is so stupid.
But there's incentives to want to win when you're on your autofill. The problem I have
It'll
is
increase your
Right,
gains.
this is for fills. Okay.
Well, the problem I have with it is not the incentive. I think incentive on off rolls is a good idea. Like if I'm autofilled, if I'm playing I'm not talking about the secondary role, but if I'm
This
autofilled,
kinda stops
I
a lot
should
of
gain. You should gain more LP on your autofilled role. You
Yeah.
should. I think you should gain more LP. It should reward more flexible and dynamic players because they're overall. I think somebody who can play all 5 positions is better than someone who could just play one. If they're in the same elo. But
so this will stop a lot of one triggers too.
yeah, the problem I have is when it comes down to not punishing you because you're on an off roll, the lack of punishment and consequence when you're on an off roll, it'll make people care less about winning.
No, yeah, they've like that was a big concern, and I think that they had like a good solution. I don't remember what it was, but like they from
like
what
you
I've
win on your off roll and then you get bonus LP on your main if you win on that.
and that
match.
you're like kind of punished. You're pretty heavily punished if you don't take your off roll game seriously.
There's like if you keep doing it, then you get punished or something like that.
Huh.
Yeah, like through the
consistently
system,
Yeah.
like what's it called? I feel like from what I've seen so far, they've taken a lot of the abuse out of the system to where it's like really not possible to abuse, but it also cheapens the actual system itself.
I think overall it has a potential to be a very good thing, but it has the potential to be the next dynamic queue. It could be the thing that kills the game. That's why I'm so personally like worried about it.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's as drastic as dynamic queue. Like I think that it's overall like a good idea for like most players.
You have to realize, like, even if this kills the game, like they have that one beautiful. Okay, you guys don't know about this. I don't know if you guys know about this. Riot has this beautiful card that they can use right now. They didn't do it yet, and they will probably do it by the time League is about to die. And this is such a big card, okay? It's called ARAM Ranked. Now, this has been talked about for years, right? Seasons after seasons, and people have wanted this shit. Because if you guys don't know this, but like there's a fucking community of ARAM, like serious ARAM players. Like this is like
with
no
like
joke.
ARAM only accounts.
Yeah, legit. Like there are guys that only play ARAM in this. I have ex-girlfriends that I got to D5 from Bronze 1. Duo queue, guys, duo queue. Anyways, duo queue's allowed in League. Anyways, like they only play ARAM on their accounts, obviously because they don't want to demote, but like or decay or like I guess demote. Yeah, so but they only play ARAM in League. They don't play anything else because everything else will show their skill, obviously. But like, besides the point, they only play ARAM, and some people actually only enjoy ARAM.
No, there's a lot of
I mean, that makes
people
sense.
like
Yeah.
the catering to the ranked player base as if it's the majority of the community is a mistake. The majority of people who play League are casual players, at least
Yeah,
in
they
NA.
play ARAM and blind pick, or like Earth modes and like these new modes that come out.
Yeah,
Like,
random
Odyssey.
game modes like that. Those are things that I think that Riot is doing a really good job of, is having these alternative game modes to play League. Like Nexus Blitz, I think is an amazing idea. It's like it's fast, it's fun, it's battle royale, it's fucking Overwatch, it's all of these things in one.
Yeah, but the big problem with that is that there's no "I'm better than you" kind of thing in it.
Well, okay.
But now if they actually put that in, that would be actually really nice because people will start taking competitively. Like
Nexus Blitz. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that that's how you get people who care about ranked into the game mode, which is like you are somebody who cares about ranked because you play ranked. Like,
yeah, true.
So you're coming at this from a perspective of how does this, how does Riot entice me to get into this game mode? But you're not the kind of person that it's going after. It's the kind of person who just like fucks around and plays games and doesn't care about ranked, which is the overwhelming majority of the community.
The casual audience.
90% of League of Legends player, 90% of League of Legends player are silver, gold, and bronze.
Of ranked players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, of ranked players, yeah. So it's like, and they're all, and these ranked players, once they hit like bronze, silver, gold skill level, and they get the definite answer from Riot that this is their level, because that's what they feel like. It's like, and they don't want to climb it because they're rather, they're tired of it, or they're just lazy, or they just don't give a shit. They're gonna go play ARAM. Like, they're not gonna have fun playing ranked, obviously, right? So
that's why Diamond 5 is so bad. People peek at Diamond 5 and they're like, "Well, this is it. Can't really get Masters from here, so let's just."
Yeah. Which is the thing about making the new tier with Grandmasters, because
like, I feel like it's not going to change anything for us, because like what?
I mean, there's such a huge difference in skill between D5 and D1. It's fucking ridiculous. Like the action, but it like you don't. It doesn't feel as good getting from D1 to D5 or D5 to D1.
The same fucking perks and everything.
Yeah, but like
you call yourself a diamond player, you know what I mean? Like,
but if the equivalent,
one, you might as well be Diamond 5.
If the equivalent of D2 right now is like a new tier or like Masters, then there's actually like something that's a little bit more achievable to get to. Yeah. For a lot of players, because like it's like how it's in the same thing with bronze. How bronze 5 to bronze 1 is such a huge gap in skill that it doesn't really feel like you're actually being properly rewarded for that. Which is all that it really is that the reason that getting something like Masters is being properly rewarded for all the effort you put in. Because there's a huge amount of effort you put into going from D5 to D1, but it doesn't feel like you're getting rewarded for that.
If I could go back to like our talk about like catering to the casual audience, I feel like Nexus Splits, all of these things, you had modes like Dominion in the past, you had the old 3v3s. When I first started playing League, old Twisted Tree Line, not the one they have now, but the old Twisted Tree Line was my jam. I played that so much. I never played 5s until the end of season 2. The only reason I played it was because I wanted the free Janna skin. I've never even touched Janna. But the key to the games like this, and the reason why like League and MOBAs in general got so popular was catering to the casual player base. When you had games like in the past, like Warcraft 3, you had StarCraft, there's, you guys get this from time to time, ladder anxiety, when you're getting really high rank and you're afraid to rank up further. This is a thing that stops a lot of casual players from like grinding solo queue, grinding games. They don't want to just lose a lot. They don't want to plateau. They want to just get their rank and like, okay, I'm good with this, and then stop and then have more fun. They don't really take the grind seriously. But the thing that Warcraft 3 did right was it had this map creator that allowed you so many different custom game modes, so many different ways to play the game, that when you were done with ranked or you had ladder anxiety or whatever, you burned out, you could just go into like Sheep Tag, or you can go into Footman Wars, or you can go into Dota. I mean, this is the reason why League exists, is because of catering to the casual audience with this awesome map editor. The problem with every other game since then has not repeated that same thing.
Yeah, no.
StarCraft tried but failed. But the thing is,
That was a huge issue with like
StarCraft.
why
Yeah.
StarCraft 2 died so quickly.
It
is
was.
because, like, they didn't have anything for the casual player base until the game was already like no chance of
Exactly.
being resuscitated.
And that's the thing about League, though. League could use the same kind of thing if Riot released some kind of map editor where we can make all these custom game modes. That would really help with the game.
I mean, StarCraft 1 was such a big hit, not just on like competitive play. Most people played user maps and user maps that people can edit.
Same thing with Warcraft 3.
Yeah, it was so fun. Like I still remember, I still play some. If I'm with my friends from like let's say middle school or high school who all used to play StarCraft with me, we would go to like PC Bang and we would legit like spend 10 hours, 20 hours just playing user maps. And they're so well made. Even now, there's new ones coming out. But the StarCraft remastered, I played recently. I was like, wow, this is actually fucking fantastic. They're actually keeping up with 21st century and like they're actually technically StarCraft was made in the 21st century, but I'm talking about like currently, like 2018. They're actually keeping up with all the games. It's actually really...
a map editor would be so amazing for League, and
I think
that's going a little too far because there's going to be what happens when they release things like map editor is that it's like I said, from basic coding to League of Legends is like codes too, right? Like scripting and things like this becomes so easy to make, and everybody starts because they release every code like because map editors and stuff like that. It just doesn't like help the rank system.
Part of what set League apart from like StarCraft and causes like Exodus is the fact that when you're playing StarCraft, you're playing solo, whatever. You're all on your own. But when you're playing League, you're playing on a team of people. It's much more laid back. It's much more casual. That's what got everybody in to begin with. And now we're at a point where, League is still super competitive for a lot of people. And even now, even as a team game, gives you that kind of anxiety. And people are moving on to even more casual things from League. We're just all casuals at heart.
Speaking of abusing map editors, when I played Neverwinter Nights, I would use the map editor to create a map that just had a bunch of gold and really, really valuable equipment. And then I would have a character and then get all of that equipment, and then I would play it through things as normal. So it was like cheating with the map editor.
Yeah.
That's
dude. Are you talking about the original Neverwinter Nights?
Yeah, Neverwinter Nights. Yeah,
dude, I love that game. I never beat it though.
Yeah, I don't think I did either because I was so bad that I would cheat like that.
You're talking about the one with like that little halfling dude, and his name was Tommy, right? He'd like pick locks for you.
Let me I don't remember shit from the game.
Dude,
it's so long ago.
I remember playing that. Did you ever play Dungeon Siege?
I did not.
Dude, that was my jam. It was like right before Neverwinter Nights. This is like 2001.
Yeah, like 2002.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what do you guys think about playing support in High Elo?
I think that support is a role that has the least actual skill behind it, and that you have to know the least amount of things about the game, and that if you want to get to a high rank, just fucking play support.
I think support is just all about lane matchups.
Because I've been contemplating playing support just because I won so many with Morgana, and not just that because, okay, thing about support is this: if you play support in like High Elo, right, you're going up against a lot of e-girls who got boosted by their boyfriends or their e-daddy or carry, right? So that sounds really sexist, but like that's generally what I see a lot of the times. So if I play against like an actual like girl and who's boosted, right? My lane is always winning, at least. No matter like even let's say I like win 60% of all my matchups in top lane, right? But if I go support, I win 80% of my matchups in bot lane. So I don't know. It feels like because I see the same support over and over again, like same supports in Diamond, and they're all not all of them, but like there's such a big difference between people who play Pyke, Thresh, than people who play Lulu, Nami, Soraka. Janna.
Yeah, no, I think that Nami is so fucking easy to play. All you do is just press W and E, and you fucking win. You don't even have to level up your Q. And you just press those abilities and you will win if you don't fucking...
If I play support, I just go Brand and just like blow my load and then die, and then I still do an ass load of damage because it's brand. So
Yeah, Brand late game is stupid too. Like even mid game, you just ult in, you just flash ult, you WQE and you die. That's all. That's your job.
Brand's surprisingly simple to play too. I mean, it's
But
just,
yeah, every other
pretty
role
easy.
has so many such a higher burden of knowledge than support, whereas support is like there's not as many things that you actually have to be good at. Like you don't have to understand how to CS, you don't have to understand how to
multitasking, CSing with harassing, yeah. But I will say that in bot lane, all the engage is up to support. So good support, like master tier support mains that I've met and that I used to play with, have amazed me with their win rates. Like let's say there were like season 6 winners where because back in season 6 there was no such thing as solo duo rank. Anybody can just play with a bunch of people.
And dynamic
before
queue.
Dynamic queue. Like there was only one queue. That was just like League of Legends queue. Yeah, I remember that, right? So I played with my friend and then his another friend of his, right? So I was like, all right, because he's a support man. I'm like, okay, so I guess we're carrying him. And then my friend's like, no, this guy's actually good. I'm like, he's a support main though. So I made fun of him for that. Anyway, so we start playing, and every game, bot lane wins. And that never happens. You guys know, if you're a mid laner or a top laner, your bot always ends, right? But every game, I feel like my bot is winning. I'm like, huh. It's because he's actually good at support. He's actually like engaging well. He's actually like playing so well. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, maybe support is viable to be a good lane, or viable to be a skilled lane, because I always thought like support was a boosted, like doesn't need a lot of but like he did tell me one thing, which was supports have to make all the engages happen. Because like let's say you're playing Thresh, right? You hook, right? You have to land your hook. That's your job as a support. You engage that first before your ADC can do. ADC's job is to just harass, like position well, kite, MCS, right? Yeah, so
yes.
I figured, like, I don't know, in time, I mean, obviously I want to learn other roles too, and support might be my next, because I've been going top support instead of going top jungle or top mid. It's been working out so far on all my accounts.
Yeah, no, I would go a couple metas ago, I would go mid bot. Not because I played bot, but because if I went mid top, I would get top 90% of the time or more.
Oh yeah. Nobody nobody even now still wants top. I always get top.
Yeah, I'm like I'm a mid trend OTP, but like I can't get mid more than half the time.
Yeah, but if you go bot, like no, nowadays even bot, I think if you go mid jungle, you might get mid a lot more.
Good point. It's a good point.
Yeah, if bot is like nobody wants ADC either. It feels it's legit Kai'Sa or bust. You get Kai'Sa or you.
I think Lucian is really strong right now.
Oh, because of the empowered Q, right? Yeah, it's been strong, but it's also just laning phase. Like late game, if any game goes to late game, every bet's on.
I feel like he does a lot of damage, like so much.
Oh, he does a lot, but his like early and mid game is really strong. But like,
yeah, it is.
Any game that goes to late game, and Kai'Sa has that. The one thing that's really scary about Kai'Sa is that you can always adjust. If everybody brings MR, okay, I'm gonna go AD. Everybody brings armor, then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go full AP.
Yeah, she's super adaptable. She can really kind of fit into anything, and she also has a lot of
unless you land a definite CC, like a Pantheon W would be a definite CC. It's not a skill shot, right? It just click it and it'll land.
Point and click stun. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like unless you land like a definite CC, Kai'Sa will always zoom out with ult or like shield or.
And even then, she can really afford to get a Mercurial Scimitar and not really be punished for it.
She is, I think, one of the best. Like,
I don't mean to interrupt. I just I gotta go, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, have a good night, Vondel.
I think I should go too.
Yeah,
everybody's leaving.
Let's wrap everything up.
It's 6 a.m.
yeah. I should have been asleep hours ago.
Yeah, well, this was really fun though. I think this is something I just learned something new. This is something we can do.
Yeah, no, I think this is a really good experience. I really enjoy it. I think it's good content. It's something that's not really
there yet.
done in like the league scene, really.
League scene is all about being a solo wolf, lone wolf, But now this is actually pretty cool. I really like.
Yeah, no, I think this is really good, and I'd like to do this more often.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, call me anytime, dude. Like, this is really fun. Well, we can even set something up before we even like stream.
Yeah,
on this.
no, definitely. I think this is pretty cool.
All right, thanks for having me, man. I'll see you next time, man.
Yeah, see you, bro. Have a good night.
All right. Good night, dude.
All right, night.